Oh, I feel like we always burp or something right when we go live. We're live. I think we're close to like our actual start time, man.
7 minutes late.
7 minutes late. That's like, I feel like that's on time for us.
Are we usually more late than that?
I think we're crazy late.
Okay.
All right.
I'm about to post it.
Someone said they got some. I just got Mickey Dzax also before the pod. So, and then Molly said, Blaze has officially watched too much Kyle and Corin. I want to get. There's one person at the McDonald's that I work at that just doesn't know about the McBundle deal or whatever. And I think I talked about this person last time. But every time I go and try to order the shit where it's like you get two things and the second thing's $1, the person just doesn't know how to register that shit in the register. And every time I go, it's supposed to be like $3, and the dude's like, all right, $7. Do you want to round up? And I'm like, no, I don't. And you don't have the right price in that bitch. But
yeah, because they use that for a tax deduction. So it's bullshit when they try to get you to round up for charity. They just use it for a tax deduction.
But it's crazy that every spot now asks you to round up. Like I don't do some shit, and it's just like I pay for something like, do you mind just rounding down? Like, can you make it less money for me? Like, the price is what it is. I'm not rounding up like unnecessarily. Like, if you want to just add that shit in, then do it. But stop with that shit.
Yeah, totally. I used to do it until I realized, oh, wait a second. They're just trying to get a tax deduction. I'm not even sure when they give you the electronic option to tip somebody.
Yeah.
I'm not even convinced they give that money to the server that you're tipping.
That's true too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, unless you got the cash on you and then you tip them directly, that's a good move. But if you're putting it into some electronic shit, I don't trust them. They're probably stealing that shit.
Are you more inclined to tip if you see the tip jar kind of like not blessed with anything, or if it's OD blessed, are you like, they must be doing a good job, so let me throw a little bit more in that bitch?
It doesn't matter. I always tip. Always tip.
Yeah. That is true, and I know you mentioned that, and I've seen it firsthand. But everything, every Starbucks drink, every shit, you're throwing something to someone?
Anytime there's a question, like, hey, is this some tip shit or not, I'll just tip.
So Starbucks, where they flip the screen around.
I don't really go to Starbucks. I don't go to Starbucks.
Because every spot turns the screen around now, and it's like, do you want to tip? So every spot that asks you, you're hitting them with something?
I do, but again, in my mind, I'm like, I don't even know if this is actually going to the servers. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like the reason they do it like that is so that they could take a cut, that the owner could take a cut from the electronic tip. Versus if you go to a restaurant and you like paying cash or something, old school style, you could leave the actual amount of money for them to take in cash. Yeah. That's the only way you guarantee the tip is getting where you want it to go, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of spots too. I feel like sometimes workers are kind of like, they're very like scared. They're like, oh, I can't take cash. I can't do this. And it like it presents like an awkward thing where you're like trying to give them money, but they're saying that they can't because their boss says that they can't take tips. Like anywhere where someone feels kind of scared to get a cash tip, in my eyes, is like a red flag. It's almost like they're working for some employer that like scares them, you know?
And then there's places that still only do cash. They don't let you buy with a card anymore. Mm-hmm. And that's because those places are trying to pay a few lower taxes. Yeah. So they report like they make less than they do.
Yep.
And then they pay like a lower tax rate. But there's still some places like we were at, what was it, Rehoboth Beach, I think, in Delaware. Mm-hmm. And some of the little stores on the boardwalk.
Oh yeah.
All of them are like, nah, it's only cash. Like you can only pay with cash. Yeah. And they're doing that so that they pay like way less taxes than what they would otherwise, you know?
There's also a lot of spots now too. I know like cafeterias are doing this that are going cashless, which to me is kind of crazy because like I've had to be on the side of like, like they don't take cash anymore. And they're like, what? Like cash is king.
How is that a thing? You can't like, that's the main shit. Like,
that's the main shit. But like, if you're like an owner of the gym or a restaurant or something, and like, you're like kind of put it in some hourly employee's hands to just run your shit.
Oh, they're afraid that they're gonna take it. Yeah.
Someone buys a burrito or some shit, you don't put it in the register, and then like you just give them their food. You don't know how many like wraps you have. So like I understand the like not taking cash, but then I understand the like the theory behind it, but then also like cash is what you should be paying with. Like that shouldn't not be allowed anywhere.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to remember. I feel like everything was cash when we were kids. Like everybody paid in cash for everything. And then if it wasn't cash, it was check. People would use a literal check.
Yeah.
And then
I don't even think kids would know how to fill out a check right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think I still remember, but there would be like, wait, do I put the date here? There would be a moment.
That hard. You remember when like there's people or like there was classes of like how to fill out a check, and then like in theory, it's just like you literally just write the like number out and then sign your name. Like it's not like the hardest shit.
Yeah.
Like I feel like sometimes people make it harder. They're like, oh, you wouldn't even know how to fill out a check, like I just said. But then in theory, like it's not that hard. It's the same thing with like looking at time on a watch or some shit. People are like, I bet you kids don't even know how to read time on a watch. It's like, yeah, they probably do. It's not that hard of shit to do.
I remember that my sister said my dad gave her advice on the last payment for the apartment. Like if you're paying rent, that for the last payment, here's how you save money. And then he explained how you write the check out wrongly and then the shit will bounce. And so they won't be able to get the money.
Oh, and you're already fucking ghost.
And you're gone. Yeah. So he was explaining. I was like, damn, are you teaching my sister how to commit crimes, dog? Like,
I mean, that's true. But then also, like, it's like they can find you. It's not like you're like fucking, moving.
Can they find you? If that's where you live and you're moving, they don't know the new address,
That's kind of true. What jobs that I'm always like, is it a real job? I met someone, and I think I said this shit too, that was kind of like a collector. They go to people's house and tell them they owe money.
Oh, repo man type shit?
Like some repo man shit. Like I don't, and the guy was like, if you saw the guy, you'd be like, that's a perfect job for you. Like he was like kind of like a smooth talker, a little bit like overweight, but like kind of like teddy bear-ish, but like also kind of could be kind of intimidating if he didn't really talk too much. And he was like, he dead ass seemed like the perfect type of person that like would knock on your door. You would look at the shit and be like, that guy doesn't look like too intimidating. Like he kind of looks also friendly. He looked like the perfect type of dude to open the door and be like, hey man, you owe $200. Like, can you kind of pay it? And then if you're like, nah, man, then but he also had that side where he could be like, all right, I might have to fuck you up right now. Imagine that being your job where you kind of had to like, I hate confrontation. That whole job is fucking confrontation.
Totally. Yeah. Bro, did you know I dodged those people for like 5 years straight?
Just like people asking for money or like collecting money?
It was debt collectors, but when my dad died, he had a shitload of debt.
Oh.
And the debt collectors would come after me and my sister. And for 5 years straight, I was dodging those motherfuckers. Like,
is it phone calls? Did they knock on your door? Or like...
First of all, the phone calls, good luck. I never answer shit.
Yeah.
Ever. Right. Like, I never answer if I don't know if the name doesn't pop up on my shit, 0% chance I'm answering it. Zero. It could be somebody saying you won the lottery. It could be anything, and I'm just not answering. Not a chance. Zero. I don't even have the voicemail set up, so you can't even leave a voicemail.
Yeah.
I'll try to get to me. It's impossible to get to me through calls. But at the time, they would come and knock on the door where I lived.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's OD.
Never answered the shit. They fucking never knew I was there. Like they never once in 5 years, they never once fucking got to me. Because here's the deal. They were trying to shake me down for money that my dad had owed.
Yeah, you got nothing to do with that shit.
Exactly. I know the law, and the law is you can fuck off. I don't inherit his fucking debt. I don't inherit his debt. He's his own person. I'm my own person, But that's what they do is they shake people down who don't know better, and like they'll make them pay some money. And like people get got on that all the time. It
seems like crazy to me because I even think about this shit when a police officer pulls someone over. I'm like, it's just two people talking. Like one guy's just wearing professional ass clothes. Like who's this debt collector at my door? Like who the fuck is he to just be like, yeah, all right, here's a check for $200. Like clear my shit. Like what? What makes you that person?
It makes no sense. Makes no sense.
Are you for or against? Like I get fed a lot of these like police videos now where like people are like, they really know their rights and like they're like pushing back against the cop and all that shit. Like, are you for that shit now? Like everyone kind of knowing like like they don't roll their windows down. They're saying like I
and
know
their
all my
Miranda
rights.
rights and shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because look at what ICE is doing. ICE is just straight up like rounding up people and throwing them in concentration camps and trying to deport them even if they're here legally, and like they're just breaking up families, and it's terrible. Like they're dragging people away, kicking and screaming, and they're like, I have papers, and they're like, I don't care, I'm still taking you. And so when I look at that, I'm 100% on the side of like,
know your shit.
Not only know your shit, not only abide by, like know your Miranda rights, all your legal rights and shit, have a lawyer present, don't open your mouth, don't say shit. But I'm also on the side of like, if they don't have a fucking warrant, just leave. Like just dip away from them,
Yeah, that's true. A lot of those videos, they're like standing there answering their question, like kind of just like listening to them. I mean, like
legally, you don't have to say shit to these people. You could even be like, they could be like, hey, sir. And you could just be like, I ain't saying shit. Like nothing. There was a PSA video from like a decade or like 2 decades ago where they were like, it was like these two old people being like, if the cops try to talk to you, shut the fuck up. And it was just 5 minutes of them being like, what do you do if they say this? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
What do you do if they say that? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, I've seen so many videos where people do that and the cop gets so like they get so much more angry and then they start, like threatening to tase them or like, like.
But it's about court though. That's why like the whole thing is like, if it has to go to court for whatever reason, if they don't follow the right process, they're cooked. They're cooked. You could be guilty as fuck on some shit, like guilty.
Yeah.
And if they don't follow the right process, they fucked their case, dog, because they violated your rights in an attempt to get you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it's good advice when people say like, shut the fuck up. Don't, here's what you're legally entitled to. Here's, what you have to comply with, etc. Like follow all that shit to a T.
Yeah. So going back to starting 7 minutes late, you're usually on time, right? How are you with your time? If you say like you're going to show up somewhere, are you good with that?
Oh yeah. I'm usually an on-time guy to a slightly early guy.
Yeah, that's good. I feel like I lean more that way also. I know for the airport, Molly like gets us out the house super early, and I feel like it's like dumb unnecessary, especially now. Like my global entry just expired. I have TSA pre-check, so I feel like that shit kind of expedites a lot of it. But there's so many more levels now. There's like clear gets you through super faster. Like there's so much more next shit that like just the regular TSA pre-check doesn't even like speed it up that much further anymore.
Yeah, but airports are the worst. That's the one thing that like there is no actual set time. Like, oh, you got to get there an hour before or 2 hours before, or whatever. All they tell you is like you just got to be super fucking early. And so that's why I always try to avoid planes. Like I don't like planes anyway. But when you add like you got to get there so early and you got to suck off the TSA guy and then you got to do this and then you got to do that. It's like I don't want to do any of that, bro. So yeah, planes are the worst. It used to be back in the day when we were like kids. And certainly before 9/11,
the airport,
you could just show up like 5 minutes before your shit, and you're good.
Yeah,
and then that all stopped,
I was just talking to someone about this shit because we were driving past LaGuardia Airport, and the shit's been doing construction for mad long, and they were like, I think it was Molly's dad. He was like, didn't they change the name of LaGuardia or some shit? And as he said that, we're driving past some big ass shit on the side of the building, and it was just like, we've done all this construction, but we haven't changed the name. I was like, yo, there's the answer to your question. But I was like, it wouldn't surprise me if that shit was like Trump Airport one day. Like he's gonna try to put his name on something very like substantial soon. If it's not like Trump's White House or something. Like, do you think he could put big Trump letters like he does on his buildings on the front of the White House?
I never thought of that, but like he might do that shit because he doesn't. It's not a question of like, is he allowed to do it? Because usually the answer is no, but he'll just do it if he wants to do it.
Yeah,
like this fucking ballroom that he's building, this 90,000 square foot ballroom that's $200 million.
So crazy.
That shit is not legal. There's no money authorizing him building that shit that was allocated by Congress in some spending bill. That didn't fucking happen. So this shit is all totally like he just decided I'm gonna do it. And then he did it. He just does shit. And
well,
so
I mean, like, who like there's no the buck stops here. Like he's the one. So like that's what like if he watches this podcast, he might have get that idea of like, yo, let me throw the fucking Trump like gold letters on the front of this White House shit. Cause like at the end of the day, there's nobody higher than him to stop him from doing that shit.
But to your point, you're so right. He's gonna want to put his name on roads, on bridges, on airports, on everything. And like, it's funny too, right? Because usually the way it works is, first of all, it needs to be a dumb long time. Like after you're president, like you got to wait at least like 30, 40 years before they're like
dead or some shit.
Yes, exactly. But he would want his shit right now, and then his followers would be like, we'll do anything to fucking get his name. They'll go to fucking city council meetings and say, we're voting to change this road name to Trump Avenue or some shit.
Yep.
They'll do that, and it's going to be crazy, right? Because then you have like George W. Bush. His name is probably on like some shit, but not that much shit.
He's on, that's what I said. Bush is on an airport. I think in Houston, I think it's like George Bush Airport.
Texas shit. Yeah, some Texas shit. Yeah, I can see that.
And there's a big ass, I saw it. It's a big ass statue of like him and his dad, a bronze statue in the middle of the airport. It's like him and his pops just standing next to each other or some shit. But I'm pretty sure Houston's airport is called like George Bush, like International Airport or some shit.
But it's going to be weird as fuck to have like the name of the worst president in U.S. history, like on a whole bunch of different shit. Like it's going to be so weird to see like, oh yeah, there's 5,000 roads named after him and 4 bridges and 3 airports. And it's going to be like, he fucked everything up. You know what I'm saying? Like usually, like there's more things named after FDR or Abraham Lincoln or George Washington. Yep. There's more shit named after them than there is of like Woodrow Wilson, who was, led to the Great Depression. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's like, or no, not Wilson. Wilson was a little before that. Whoever I'm thinking. Oh, Herbert Hoover. That's what I was thinking of. Herbert Hoover, who led to the Great Depression. Like there's not much shit named. There's some shit, but not as much.
I mean,
with Trump,
he's the Hoover Dam,
like
right?
Now.
Or no?
What's that?
Is he the Hoover Dam?
I think that was built during his time in office. When was the Hoover Dam built?
But
1936. No, so that came after him then.
Oh wow.
When was Herbert Hoover president? This should be the 1920s. Oh, he was president 29 to 33. So he's the guy who oversaw the Great Depression and then dipped. Like he got into office, Great Depression, and then he dipped. Like he got in there and just ruined everything and then left.
It was like it's that is it what is it Simpsons where the grandpa walks in the shit, puts his hat on the coat rack
and walks right out. Totally. And he still got a dam. He got a dam named after him still. That's crazy,
that's what I'm saying. Like after so much time, and I've said this shit about Trump, bro. It was like if Trump didn't come back for this term, and I'll say this, even if he does leave office and shit is like, I mean, he'll be dead as fuck. But if he never ran for office this time, people would have been like, yeah, he fucked. Like, that was horrible. But he would have been accepted back into society.
100%. 100%. They did it with George W. Bush.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. Like, look at this dude, Hoover or whatever. Like, there was the Great Depression. Dude got a fucking dam built. Like, that's true, and like, it's just the Hoover Dam now. It's not like, yeah, but did you know Trump will have mad shit? And then, like, by the time kids of kids were like, are like out in society, they're just going to be like, yeah, that's the Trump bridge. Like we're driving over the Trump bridge. Like
I do think it'll take a while. I think you're right, but I think it'll take a while. Me and Chris actually had this debate because I really think we're about to have like a depression, like a Great Depression type shit.
Yeah.
And so for a hot, like 5 or 10 years, people are going to, anytime you mention the name Trump, people are going to be like, fuck that motherfucker. He fucking ruined everything. But once you get like 20 years, 30 years out, people just be like, yeah, he was just a president. He was that wacky guy with the orange face, you know? Like, it'll just evolve to, yeah, that's just Trump. It won't be like the motherfucker who gave us a depression, started a war with Venezuela for no damn reason, started a war with Iran, built concentration camps. Nobody will know or care about any of that other shit. And that's why we're fucked. That's why, like, I feel like society is cooked also because our education system is, like, terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't let you make value judgments about the country. Like, hey, here are the good presidents, and here's a list of them. Here are the bad presidents. Here's the good shit that was done. Here's the bad shit that was done. They just try to give you like a sanitized Disney version of our history and act like all the presidents were good in their own way or some shit. And it's like, no, some of them fucking were committing genocide. Some of them were trying to give people...
George Washington have slaves or some shit? Or Abraham Lincoln have slaves?
No, Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves.
Yeah, but
a
didn't
lot
he
of the
still
founding
low-key have
fathers,
some slaves?
most of the founding fathers had slaves. Yeah.
Yeah, like, but
Yeah.
like you don't learn
And
about
then
all
they
that
act
shit.
like they're cool. It's like, not really.
I was just asking about the we were driving over the Tappan Zee Bridge, and then like it's the Mario Cuomo Bridge now,
Yep.
and I was like, who decides on who gets the name for some shit? And
I'll
also,
give you
like,
one guess who decided that one. It's Andrew Cuomo, the son.
oh, he was like,
When he
name
was
the bridge.
governor, he changed the shit, I think. Yeah.
You might be right, but like, yeah, I think you are, and it's just wild because I was like, I forgot who asked me, but someone was like, well, was he that good of a governor that he got the bridge? And I was like, no, he probably just has a lot of money. And to your point, like his son was just like, yo, name that bridge after him. Like, you can't just, I feel like that's a big switch to just like when someone changes their name, that's a big switch. But changing like a bridge too is another big ass switch too. Like, you can't just, like, if that's the name of the shit, you can't, you like change the name of it. That's that's fucked up.
So as a New Yorker, I can tell you, and I know you know this, everybody still calls that bitch the Tappan Zee Bridge. Nobody calls it the fucking Cuomo Bridge.
That's true.
Because our whole lives, it was the Tappan Zee Bridge.
Yeah.
So, yes, like eventually people will have to succumb to it. But right now, I think, weren't people talking about renaming it back to the Tappan Zee? Because I feel like that was a debate people were having.
They should.
But Cuomo was way better than Andrew Cuomo. He wasn't even that bad. But
Mario Cuomo.
Oh, yeah. But that's the thing, right? Is like, it's still the Tappan Zee Bridge. Like, just leave it what the fuck it is.
That's
you know?
what I'm saying.
And it's not like it was named after some like fucking horrible genocidal slave owner. Like, it's named after the fucking native people that were in the area, you know?
Yeah. Is it actually going through the UFC match at the White House? Is that a real thing?
I think so. But that's another one of the things that's like, there was no vote on shit. You know, Congress didn't weigh in, but Trump's like, we're going to do this. And it's like, all right, I guess we're doing it. Like, it's one of those things. Like, he's just doing it and they're going to fucking do it, you know?
It's going to be such a flop too. I mean, like, they're going to like prop it up like it's dope, but like no one's going to be allowed to go to that shit. That like what
only the richest motherfuckers, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's going to be, yeah, I don't know who's going to be allowed to go to that shit. And then it's going to look horrible on TV. Like, it's not, I think it's weird to me that like Dana White is like his right-hand man. It's such a weird tag team combo. Like,
it's just Idiocracy. That's how I look at it. You know, like the movie Idiocracy.
Yeah.
For everybody listening, if you haven't watched that movie, do yourself a favor. Watch that bitch tonight or tomorrow night at the latest. Because
what is that one?
Idiocracy. So the idea of Idiocracy is like, what would happen if in society only like the dumbest people kept having kids and the smarter people stopped having kids? And so then, like, basically the world gets populated with people who are basically dumbasses. And then they start electing people who are total fucking dumbasses. They don't believe in science. They fuck everything up. They fuck up the economy. Like, they fuck up the environment. And so, you know, you go to Idiocracy where some dude was like, I don't know if I forget how it started, but I guess some dude who's from like a different time gets to live in the Idiocracy time. And he's just like a regular dude, but he's like a genius compared to everybody who's alive then. And and like, he comes up with the idea of like, hey, let's stop giving the plants or the crops it's his Gatorade type drink called Brondo. He's like, stop feeding the plants Brondo. You got to feed them water. And they were like,
you're a genius.
That's a terrible idea. Like, fuck you. Because they know the corporate marketing is like, Brondo, it's what plants crave.
Yeah.
And that's the logo. But Brondo, it's what plant. And he's like, just feed them water, I'm telling you. And they're like, you fucking idiot. Brondo is what plants crave. And he's like, bro, I promise you, can you just try it? And like, they try it once and it works. And then they think he's this fucking like mega genius.
Yeah.
And like the scene of President Camacho, who's this big black jacked president. He's got this big gun. He like shoots it in the air when he's giving his speech. Like, we're so fucking close to that. Having a UFC fight on the lawn of the fucking White House, bro, is so close to straight up Idiocracy movie type shit, you know?
Bro, I mean, like the Charlie Kirk thing yesterday, like the irony of them standing behind bulletproof glass at this event where everyone supposedly is praising them, loving them, is just like the weirdest shit to me. It's just so, like, just the optics of it is so crazy that like the fact that they're like saying that this is such a, you know, encouraging event and like inspirational and all this shit. But the fact that the president can't even sit without like bulletproof glass around him is just so wild to me. And so like it's just such a whatever oxymoron is just crazy. And that's like the world that we live in right now.
That event was wild, bro. I mean, first of all, why are you doing like WWE style fireworks when the widow walks out on stage? Like, why is everybody should be wearing black? Everybody should be somber. It should be quiet. It should be reflective.
Fucking violins and shit.
And all be talking about Charlie. But no, you got like Don Jr. went up there, started speaking about himself, started talking about like, man, I'm wild on Twitter. R9, my dad tells me sometimes I got to reel it in. Then you got Trump going up there talking about tariffs and shit. Trump was like, what did he say? He's like, Charlie didn't hate his enemies. He like wanted to help them. And he's like, but me, I hate my enemies. I want bad things for them. It's like, bro, you're president of the United States and you're saying some shit like that? That's fucking crazy. You got Stephen Miller sounding like a straight up Nazi up there.
And then like, Tucker Carlson even was just like basically saying like they were gonna like what did he say? Like
he compared Charlie to Jesus. He said like Charlie was like Jesus.
They were like having a conversation.
Was like, you know who killed? The implication was like, you know who killed Jesus, right? The Jews. Did they kill Charlie too? Like that was the implication. But he gave himself enough wiggle room where if they press him on that, he'd be like, no, I would just comparing Charlie to Jesus. What are you talking about? The whole thing was, bro. Oh my God. Like, don't do that. Don't. And you think here's what I think. Tell me if you agree. I don't think the country watched that and thought like, oh yeah, this is very touching. Like, I think they watched that shit and they were like, this is
what the
weird,
fuck's going on? Yeah.
It's bizarre, you know?
It all felt weird. And it like, I didn't watch it. I just saw some highlights, but the whole shit was strange, man. I saw, I don't know why I see her tweets. Stage Steele. She used to work.
Oh yeah, I get those shits too sometimes in my feed.
She's like in her car, and she's like, it was just so moving, and there was so much God, and it was like, I sat in 3 hours to get in traffic to get there, and nobody honked their horn. And I'm like, bitch, you heard everybody, every car, like, she's obnoxious, but like she is. You know, the way that she was out there. Yeah, I mean, it was tough to watch that, and then Trump hugging his wife and like consoling her, and like I think you texted me and you were just like he doesn't care about Charlie, like he doesn't care about this shit.
He doesn't give a fuck. He was asked how he's doing after Charlie died, and he's like, I'm doing good. You see that ballroom over there? They started work on it. It's looking amazing. They wanted it for 150 years. I got it done. It's gonna be great. And so that's what Jimmy Kimmel was making fun of too, by the way, when they fucking fired his ass. They brought him back, thankfully. It just happened today. But like, that's what he doesn't care. The other thing is he said some other shit right before he went to the event. He was like, today's going to be a day for reflection, a day for whatever. He said whatever.
They're going to try and do that like every year. I feel like that, like I just saw a tweet that was like, they're going to try and make that like an annual thing.
October 14th, for Charlie?
Like a Charlie event.
Oh my God.
I don't know if it was like an official thing or like someone just saying they should do it.
Oh, okay.
It was the dude, Benny Johnson or whatever. I see that guy's.
Oh, Benny Johnson. He's another one of these right wing. He's a closet case. He's funny. So he's like Mr. Right wing guy. But one time he tweeted that like, look at these ads that they're running on this news website he was on, like Military Times news website.
Yeah.
And it was literally like an ad for a gay singles cruise. And everybody was like, you fucking idiot. Those ads are tailored to you. Like, that's from your search history.
Bro. Oh. I don't know how some of these people like fucking rise to the top of like their party. And like, they're the people that they get a following.
It's billionaires, bro. It's for the right. It's literally just like billionaires dump a shitload of money into an operation and then they like pay their way to the top. You know, they don't want to hear it, especially in this moment. But like, who do you think funded Turning Points USA?
Yeah,
it wasn't small dollar donors. It was a bunch of billionaires that funded that bitch.
Yeah, and that's how I mean, like they're probably getting a lot of their publicity and shit now is like just pouring mad money into that shit.
I mean, totally. You buy legitimacy. You buy relevance. You know, it happened with Daily Wire with Ben Shapiro and his whole thing. They became huge when they started buying $1 gazillion worth of Facebook ads. They got big money backers, so it's easy to like appear big. It's sort of like a fake it till you make it type shit. Appear big, and then eventually you'll become big because you bought your way into the room, basically.
And so Jimmy Kimmel, they said, is coming back. So he's going to be back on ABC, like doing his shit.
Starting Tuesday. Yeah, starting tomorrow.
I low-key also think like, I mean, like it's probably not true, but maybe there's some like conspiracy behind it where they did that shit to get more ratings for his show. Cause mad people are going to watch that shit on Tuesday when he comes back.
I'm going to watch that bitch. I'm definitely watching that shit.
You think he's going to go hard? Cause like Stewart came back and like he did a special Thursday night show. I don't know if you saw it, and it was like kind of pandering to Trump and all this shit.
It was like fake pandering. He was like,
pandering.
"Oh yes, sir, we agree. You are amazing." You know, yeah.
But like,
I don't think Kimmel's going to do that. No, I don't think Kimmel's going to do that.
Hopefully he goes hard, man, because I think a lot of people are boycotting Disney right now. I heard people are like canceling cruises. Like, not. Did you tell me that?
I did a whole segment on this today where they lost $4 billion. Disney lost $4 billion since they made this decision. Their stock went down 7%. You had like
canceling Disney Plus or whatever.
People canceling Disney Plus. You had like 400 artists who basically wrote this letter and were like, "We're not working with you anymore. Like, go fuck yourself." And it was heavy hitting names too. It was like Ben Affleck, Jennifer Aniston, Selena Gomez. Like, so that it was a big, like, they were sort of fucked. They were sort of fucked for a hot minute.
Yeah.
And so they had to make a decision. Like, what do we do? Do we go back on what we did and like get the wrath from MAGA and Trump? Or do we just keep down this path and basically like tank our business? And they made the right decision, at least for now. But some of the affiliate stations are still not going to run his show though. So if your show,
real?
Yeah, because ABC works with like Sinclair Broadcasting and Nexstar Broadcasting. They're like the local ABC stations.
Mm-hmm.
And Sinclair came out and was like, we're still not going to run his shit. And so you're not going to be able to see it everywhere. But, it depends which ABC affiliate you have. But this shit was so fucking crazy. His joke wasn't even bad. Like, everybody's just fucking... Yeah. They wanted the merger approved. That's really what it came down to. They wanted their merger approved. So they were pandering to the FCC and to Trump. But they got such a big backlash that they had to walk away from it,
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, I'd be curious to see what he comes back with, because like if he comes out the gate and it's on some like weak shit, like
he doesn't have that in him. I don't think he has that in him. Do you?
Yeah, no. I hope he comes out swinging. I mean, like,
I don't know if he'll escalate it, but I definitely know he won't be a bitch.
Shit. Yeah,
like he'll probably, whatever level he was at, he'll probably keep it on that same level.
Yeah,
like he'll probably make a joke like, haven't seen much in the news lately or some shit. And then he'll like make a couple jokes about it. Then he'll move on,
I was talking to Molly's dad about this and he was like, just watch, like wait until like kind of the left wing gets into the podcast world. And I kind of was like, I think even if Jimmy Kimmel like went and started his own podcast, like people wouldn't fuck with that shit. I feel like there's way more like younger people that like, I think we get fed. Like, I don't think Jimmy Kimmel's that funny. That like if he started his own podcast, I'd be like, oh, I got to listen to it. Like, I don't crave him or Jimmy Fallon or Stephen Colbert that much. Where if they started their own podcast, like they'd have that big of a following. But
I guess it depends, right? Like I agree with you on Fallon. I think Fallon shit would be, I don't know. Yeah. It's really not my taste. He's very vanilla, offend nobody, like doesn't say much of anything. So for him, I agree. Kimmel, I do think he'd do all right because remember before he was even in this spot, he had the Man Show and shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Corolla. Like he sort of has a connection to like edgy,
real
culture,
shit,
like outsider culture, like doing the Man Show and shit like that.
Yeah.
So with him, I think he might be all right, but it depends on the individual in question. But yeah, like there's already left wing podcasts. Like I do left wing podcasts. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Liberals, like celebrity liberals. Who would have to start podcasts, but like I don't know how many of them would go hard in the paint. How many of them would be super political? Like they're only like a little political right now. You know what I'm saying? Like cultural and political. It's sort of like a dying format too. Like the late night show is sort of like a dying format.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how much longer it lasts. But the fact that basically Trump tried to fucking end Kimmel's show makes it more popular. Like I went from being like whatever on Kimmel to now I'm like, I fucking want to watch his show now just to say fuck you to Trump. Because he was trying to like force this guy out of business simply because he fucking criticized Trump. And so that makes it like get a big boost. Like you said, I bet his ratings will be record for when he comes back.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think Trump doesn't realize that like when he's in these like fights with these people, even Bill Maher, till this day, Bill Maher always talks about how he had the lawsuit with Trump. It's like the best thing that ever happened to him because he could keep talking about it. Same thing with Colbert. Like Colbert won a fucking Grammy or Emmy or whatever shit. Like
Emmy, I think. Yeah, Emmy.
Yeah, it's whatever the TV shit is. But like He doesn't realize every time he like puts his name on these people's show, like the ratings go up. So like if he were to just leave it alone, the shit would die out. He did that with Rosie O'Donnell. Like no one would be thinking about Rosie O'Donnell if you weren't talking about her.
But bro, he's so high in his own supply that like he gets away with 99 out of 100 things he does. So he just thought he got away with another shit where like, sorry, but Kimmel's cooked and ABC's going to move on and everybody can shut the fuck up. I thought there was no way they would bring Kimmel back. When they said, oh, he's indefinitely suspended, I was like, that's bullshit. He's fired. He's not suspended. He's fired.
Yeah.
But then they actually brought him back because of the backlash.
Threatening suing them too. So like,
see that's the thing is like Kimmel was actually right on the legal substance of it. Like he would actually win that shit because the FCC actually applied pressure to the affiliate stations to drop him. That's unconstitutional. The FCC can't do that, especially because it's literally about his free speech that they're trying to get rid of him. Like they can't do that. That's illegal. So he would have won that case. It would have taken a while. It would have been expensive, but he would have won that shit. And so I think that mixed with it was the backlash, like the overwhelming backlash. They felt like nobody's going to watch our shit. Nobody's going to work with us anymore. We really don't even have a choice. So now the merger will probably be cooked and be shut down. But like, okay, that's fine. At least now, like your network's not totally cooked and like totally isolated, you know?
They might have said like, we'll bring you back on the air if you just drop any lawsuit shit against us.
It's possible.
Could have been some shit.
That could have been part of the negotiations. Yeah, I heard. But what I heard was, I read in the negotiations, he wasn't given an inch. Like they were like, oh, we got to take the temperature down. And he was like, I'm not taking shit down, bro.
Kimmel.
Yeah, Kimmel said that.
Yeah, good. I mean, as he should. Like,
because also he didn't raise the temperature. His shit was like the joke that got him fired was fucking mild as fuck. You know?
Yeah. I saw who's making his rounds right now is I'm kind of like making up my mind on him, but I think I'm leaning towards he's okay in my book is Matthew McConaughey. I guess he wrote a book and he's starring in this new movie where like he's a bus driver that like goes through the California wildfires, like the most destructive California wildfires, and he's like a bus driver. And I've seen clips from it and it kind of looks like a dope ass movie. It reminds me of like a Keanu Reeves Speed type of movie where
yeah.
Mm-hmm. He has to. The clip I saw, he's like waiting at an intersection before the fires really started. And he hears over his walkie-talkie, it's like, is anybody out there with a big ass bus that can go pick up some kids? And he's sitting on an empty ass school bus. And then he's like grabbing the steering wheel and it's all dramatic and he's sweating and he's like, do I respond to this shit? Like his iPhone and it's picture of him and his kids. And he's like, I got a big school bus. I'll go get him. And then like the next clip is him like driving through these crazy ass forest fires to like pick up someone worked on that movie. Yo, get me some free fucking passes to that shit.
Shout out to Chris Quinn. I like that.
But it looks dope because he like apparently picks up all these kids and then has to like drive through the fucking fires to like get them to safety. And I'm curious to see if he makes it or not.
Yeah, I'd watch that movie. That movie sounds good.
He was
on Rogan recently, I think, right?
Oh, did he go? He probably was because he
went on Rogan, yeah.
And then he's got this movie coming out, so he was on The View, and I was watching that shit, and they were just kind of like loving him, like they were like just eating out of his fucking hand because he was just being like, he looks good for his age. I don't know how old he is, but like
that's my issue with him though. He's too perfect, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like he is almost like
too charming,
perfectly charming. He said all the right shit. He was talking about his mom, his son's in the movie, his mom and son are in the movie, and they were loving him. And I was like, damn, he hasn't fucked up one time. Like he had me smiling. Like if he was like, yo, what's up? I'll be like, yo, what's up?
There's not a single like middle-aged woman in the country that wouldn't immediately take their panties off for Matthew McConaughey. You know what I'm saying? Like he's too smooth. He's too charming. He's got that
Texas vibe.
He's got that Texas accent. He's got that like crooked smile. You know, the way he talks, like he's too, but that's why I don't like him is because you're too perfect, bro. Like you got to give me some like flaw type shit.
Some shit.
And to be fair, when he talks about politics, he is mad and annoying. He's one of the like,
is he right leaning or he?
No, he's a centrist. He's like a centrist. Like, so it's always both sides. Like everything he says is like both sides, you know?
Yeah.
And that annoys the shit out of me. And I saw that when he was on Rogan, I think he like put his foot up on the desk with his shoe off. Like he just put his naked ass foot on the desk and like the camera was all on it and shit. And it's like, why are you doing that, bro? Don't do that.
Wait, he put his bare feet up on this. I remember when Bill Maher was on, he put his feet up on.
He did a similar shit. That was a weird power play thing he was doing. So I think McConaughey was low key doing the same shit.
Yeah, like I'm a big like you got to wear socks. I'm not like I'm.
I don't fucking take. Yeah, I agree.
Anyone, there was a kid, Aaron, we went to high school with. We've spoken about a lot, but he would always wear like thong sandals with no socks. Just wear some socks. Like I don't get people who show their feet out in public. There's no reason for your feet to be out. And
yeah, unless it's like some beach shit. Unless you're going to the beach, you know.
Yeah, beach. Okay, I'll give you that. Because of the sand and shit like that. But any other reason, you should like socks are made for a reason. It's like wearing pants with no underwear.
Yeah, but and also you're on Joe Rogan, like one of the biggest podcasts in the world, and you take your fucking socks off and your shoes off and you put your foot on the table? Like you're Matthew McConaughey, bro. Are you trying to get some weird like wiki feet article written about you or something?
Yeah, I'm surprised like Joe didn't even acknowledge that shit. Like that's something
maybe he did. I don't know. I only saw a little clip of it. I think maybe Aaron Brown played it or something like that.
Okay.
I only saw a tiny little clip.
Like enough for someone to comment on that shit. Like if you came on air or if I did and I just straight put my feet up on the screen and you just try to go on like that was just some normal shit, I'd be like, why hasn't he said anything about me putting my feet up on the screen? You know, like there's certain shit. I never understood why putting your feet up on a desk was even like a thing. Like you see that in movies of like a boss putting their feet up on like their desk on some like I'm chilling, I'm in like a power position type of shit. But it's like I feel like you could just stand up. Like there's like I don't know. I don't think that's a move that I never understood.
But also if you're showing off your bare ass feet online, like you know what you're doing. Like take your shoes on the airplane, Groose. Taking your shoes on the airplane, gross.
Well, people who take their shoes
gross.
on the airplane.
Supposed to say gross. Yeah, people do that sometimes, and that shit is nasty as hell, bro. That shit is. But like, if you're showing your feet on some video type shit, like you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
on the list, on the hierarchy of like shit people are into, right? Like you got titties, you got ass. Obviously, for the ladies, you throw up their dick, whatever.
You right? Go above that shit for some people.
Well, but that's what I'm saying is like it's not that different. Like if somebody just got up and showed their bare ass on camera, right, or flashed their titties on camera, everybody be like, "Hey, yo!" Like, what do you? But if somebody shows their feet, everybody acts like, "Ha ha, it's feet." It's like, no, there's a bunch of dudes out there now whacking off to that guy's feet.
Yeah, that's true.
I guarantee you, at least 1,000 guys. When Matthew McConaughey put his bare ass feet on Joe Rogan's desk, at least 1,000 guys beat their meat to that shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Probably.
100%. Feet are like the most accepted fetish, like outside of the things that are just considered like tits, ass, whatever.
Yeah.
Like then there's feet. Feet almost made it into the category of like, bro, this is just the same, like tits, ass. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's why I think like it should be a $10 fine if you're seen out in public without socks on. Like you could get a ticket for like you'd be like, why are you pulling me over, sir? Like why did I get a ticket walking on the sidewalk? It's like you don't have socks on. Like you $10 sock fine. And people pay that shit. I don't understand. I was confused at how much money that like New York like highway association makes on people going through tolls and going over the bridge. It's an absurd amount of money. Like there's so much money that people just pay just for like fucking driving on the roads, which to me is just like so unnecessary.
Well, and paying for parking too feels like
another one.
Such a crime. I gotta pay to park my shit.
That's another one. Yeah. Like it's like, when can we not pay for some shit? I saw a meme that someone put up outside of on their sidewalk. It looked like a pay to park shit and it had a barcode on it, but it just like led to their Venmo or something like that. So everybody that parked on that sidewalk like scans that shit and pays whatever $5. But yeah,
I wonder if they get got on that. Like I wonder if that's like serious jail time, you know?
Oh yeah, they probably get jail time, but there's probably people that pay so much, like they pay so much, like
probably fraud though.
Global people.
It's probably fraud. They could prosecute that person.
Yeah,
they probably made like thousands before they got prosecuted. 100%.
$1,000,000%. Like if people get got by just these scams that come over on the phone or like emails that come through. Getting a scam like that would be next level.
Totally. Yeah, totally.
So wait, Trump, he cured autism, right? So we got to stop taking Tylenol.
Bro, I'm so done with this regime, bro. I really can't. Like
that was the way he solved it, right? Because the day before he said it, we figured out what autism is, and literally, I didn't see the press conference, but he just came out and said that it was Tylenol.
Yes, he was like, basically, like if you're pregnant and you take Tylenol, like your chances of your kid ended up with autism, they say rises big time. But like, they don't know. They're fucking full of shit. Like, first of all, me and Crystal were talking about this. What's that?
Release the files. They're just trying
to
Epstein. I know, but like they're doing all this other shit just to avoid fucking releasing.
Yeah, that's fair point. Like, yeah, because me and Crystal were talking about it. She had done a deep dive on this one time, like trying to figure out where autism comes from. One of the bigger factors is like if the parents are older, and actually specifically more the dad. If the dad is older, it makes it more likely the kid will have autism. But there's like maybe some environmental factors, but a lot of it's genetic. But this is what RFK does, and this is what Trump does. Like Trump he'll just like think some shit and then be like, that's it. You know, like he does this with vaccines where he says, when the beautiful baby is born, they pump them full of like 8 different vaccines. It's not safe for them. You got to spread that out. You got to spread that. And it's like, you just made that up. Like you just don't like that it looks bad because there's a lot of needles that they get. Like, but don't pretend like you know some shit. Yeah. So let me read you. So this is one of the doctors I follow on Twitter. He says this, ready? Tylenol and autism. RFK Jr. and Trump are wrong. The largest and best study in the world in 2.5 million kids found no increased autism risk with acetaminophen. That's the Tylenol. Used by the mother during pregnancy. A crude, unadjusted analysis found only a preliminary 5% risk. But once you adjust for family by matching using siblings control who didn't get autism, the even tiny 5% risk factor vaporizes to 0%. So they just make it up. They just make it up. High-functioning autistic here. It's totally genetic from my mom's side of the family. I've learned to drive, graduated from college, work full-time, pay taxes, and lived on my own, paying apartment rent. Yeah, so you're 100% right. And also, like, yeah, they talk about autism like it's something way more severe than it is. Like, first of all, there's a spectrum of that bitch, right? And, like, on one side of the spectrum is, like, Asperger's, and that's, like, you could barely even tell if somebody has that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, yeah, there's a spectrum, and it can get more extreme, but, like, the way they talk about it is just so fucking boomer coded. Like it's so like, I don't know anything about anything. There's other shit. Hold on. I gotta read you some of these other things Trump said when in this press conference. Cause bro.
Yeah, he said some wild shit.
He said some wild shit.
While he said that, while you said, a fucking banging burger spot would be a genius place to be called Asperger's.
I feel like South Park did a thing on that. Cartman did Asperger's and he put like burgers in his ass or something like that. All right, so here, let me read. So RFK at this fucking dumbass press conference said, some 40% to 70% of mothers who have children with autism believe that their child was injured by a vaccine. President Trump believes that we should be listening to these mothers instead of gaslighting and marginalizing them like prior administrations. Okay, that's bullshit. So you're saying 40 to 70% of moms believe vaccines cause the autism, but they're wrong. It doesn't. I don't give a fuck what they think. They're wrong. So you're the one who's gaslighting them by feeding into their nonsense belief. All right, more. Trump said, remember this? Trump said, the Amish don't have autism.
What does that even mean? Like, how, like...
I'll tell you what this is what they mean. What they mean is, they don't even take modern medicine and they're way healthier. That's what they mean. But that's bullshit. They do get autism. They get autism. Not only that, they have other issues that are actually like a lot of worse issues than the general population because there's like inbreeding and shit like that happens. So he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. All right, ready for this? Trump also says, Cuba is too poor to afford Tylenol, but now nobody in Cuba is autistic.
I saw the Cuba shit. He just straight like you could wake up and like just attack a whole fucking ethnicity, country, whatever.
He just says shit. Another one. He says the MMR vaccine I think should be taken separately. MMR is measles, mumps, and rubella. Yeah. They have all those put together. He says the MMR I think should be taken separately. This is based on what I feel. Like nobody cares what you feel. It's about the data. Like who gives a fuck what you feel? Oh my God. And then they also said there's a new drug that they have approved for autism in kids called leucovorin. I guarantee you that these motherfuckers are invested in Luke Overin, and they're about to make a shitload of money by having Trump announce this shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah, I was just about to say that. Like, everyone at Tylenol last night was probably just watching the Charlie Kirk shit, chilling, and then literally today probably woke up and were like, yo, what the fuck? This dude just, why'd he choose us? It's like, if he woke up and was just like attacking Skittles or something, like they've attacked Skittles, but like some random ass shit. Like if they were just like, Gatorade's killing everybody. Gatorade, like the day, like they would just be like, whoa, 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 like what the fuck? Like people
that's
are
what they're
not
doing,
like
basically.
Tylenol's gonna lose mad money. I mean, like, good, they're the pharmaceutical shit, but like Advil was probably dumb happy today. They probably throw a fucking like banger of a party because they're like, oh, thank God it wasn't the other way around. Like,
bro,
how did he
like
choose us?
almost every painkiller has acetaminophen in it. Like almost all of them have Tylenol in it. You know what I'm saying? So like, okay, I got another one for you. Trump said, hepatitis B is sexually transmitted. There's no reason to give a baby that's almost just born hepatitis B. So you talk about the hepatitis B vaccine. Ready?
Yeah.
Here's the reality about that. The point of the hepatitis B vaccine for newborns is to prevent chronic infection, which can lead to severe health issues like liver cancer, not just because of sexual transmission. Newborns are particularly vulnerable because they can contract the virus from their mother during birth, non-sexual transmission route. So there's a way to get it in birth that's not sexual. So that's why they give the fucking vaccine to babies, you fucking idiot. Like, these are all simple things that any other person, any other president would fucking fact check, would run a fucking Google search, would have a doctor there to tell him, sir, this makes no sense. But Trump with RFK will say the most dumb shit you've ever heard about health. And Trump will be like, that sounds good. Let's do a big announcement about it. RFK takes testosterone, human growth hormone, takes nicotine pouches like he's a fucking frat boy.
I
takes
bet you that motherfucker will take a Tylenol once he's got a headache too.
Probably, yeah. But like his ideas on health are crazy. He thinks raw milk is healthier than pasteurized milk. Raw milk, the difference is pasteurized milk just they boil off, they burn off all the diseases and the viruses in the raw milk. Mm-hmm. He thinks the raw milk is healthier for you. Like, no, it's packed full of fucking germs and viruses and shit.
Well, I've made that argument that like breast milk and baby milk is like low key probably stronger than some regular milk because kids grow from that shit. Like,
yeah, but if you want your baby sucking on the mom's titty, not a fucking cow udder, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Like they don't realize, like we know pasteurized milk is healthier. It's not a debate. But RFK believes some wild ass shit and then just pushes that shit. And then Trump's like, sounds good, let's go with that. So
there's a lot of people that like, not for nothing, I don't really take Tylenol, but like I'm gonna like think twice when I have that shit now, just because it's out there. I'm gonna be like, is this shit bad for me? Even though they probably like have no research behind it. They just said some wild shit, but like it puts a little bit of doubt in my mind. Like he wouldn't get out and say
they're
some
still
wild
wrong
shit.
about. Okay, so first of all, we've already known Tylenol, acetaminophen is bad for your liver. Everybody knows that. Mm-hmm. That's known. But it's not the fact that they say it causes autism, totally not true.
Yeah, that.
So like, don't worry if you take it. It would only be a problem if you take it like every day, multiple pills for years. Then maybe your liver would have a problem with it. But in terms of autism, like, no, it's fucking nonsense. Like, this is what I hate about. They just don't give a fuck. They're so anti-intellectual and anti-science, and it's like I naively thought nobody could be this disconnected from reality. If you become a U.S. president, like. You've had enough training and enough schooling and enough education where you wouldn't do some wild shit like this. And it's like, no, he just says whatever the fuck he wants, not backed by science. And then, like, I guarantee you know who was most offended by this press conference? Doctors, other scientists. We're watching this going, what the fuck is going on here, bro?
Because they got to answer so many more questions now just at a regular fucking checkup.
I guarantee you real doctors across this country were watching this in fucking horror, bro. In horror.
Yeah. I can't believe that's what that was the announcement today. And again, it's like so crazy that like he'll just choose a random fucking item and like that, like he'll just go after it.
Tomorrow he's doing a big address from the White House, he said.
Did he say on what topic?
They didn't say, but it could be fucking anything. Did you know that we're now at war with Venezuela? Because we're at war with Venezuela.
No, I didn't know that.
3 different boats off the coast of Venezuela. He keeps bombing their boats and murdering people.
Why is he going after the boats in Venezuela?
Because he wants to topple the Maduro regime, and he wants to put a puppet government in there, and he wants to steal their oil.
God damn. Yeah. I don't get it, man.
Bro, these people are evil, bro. Like straight up evil, dog. Like evil. Like it's
I
not even
saw
on some like, oh, I disagree with them, but like I respect. Like no, they're evil, like pure evil.
Yeah. I saw something that like there's an asteroid that's like flying by the Earth or some shit, but it's not gonna hit the Earth. So we're good. Did you see anything about that?
I didn't see that. I've heard I read articles about that like a couple of years ago, but I think that was about a different asteroid that passed at the
Oh,
time. This one might
okay.
be a new one, but that happens all the time, pretty often. You'd be surprised how often that happens. That it flies like relatively close to
It's
us.
kind of crazy that those shits never actually hit, though. You know,
They don't go ask the dinosaurs about that. Them bitches got obliterated by an asteroid.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's just that Corin. It's just that our lifespans are so short that like.
Yeah.
You know, what are the chances one hits like literally during our lifetime? Very, very rare. But if you stretch it out, like what are the chances one hits over 100,000 year time span? Then it's like, oh, it's gonna hit. You know?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I get earthquakes and shit too, though. Like you know that, like supervolcanoes is another one that's terrifying. Like every now and then a supervolcano will go off and like everybody will be cooked and die and like huge earthquakes that like ruin everything. Those shits happen like. Some devastating shit will happen at some point in our lifetimes that'll be like, I mean, it's already a bunch of shit that's happened, but we could have some way worse shit too, you know?
Well, I know you mentioned there weren't hurricanes, and then I saw that like there is a new hurricane forming or some shit. Gabrielle's the next shit that I guess is forming in the ocean, but like apparently it's not going to hit land side or landfall or whatever, but it is hurricanes are coming back. I know we might have jinxed it last week.
Well, this season has been relatively calm, though.
Mm-hmm.
This season has been calm, but it's not over yet. We still got. When does it end? Does it end November? December?
I don't know.
I don't remember. It's one or the other.
What else do I got? I went to a baseball game yesterday on the 21st night of September. You know that song?
21st night of September?
No, yeah, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
So I made it.
They say the 21st of September in that song?
21st night of September.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I know the song, but I didn't know they said 21st of September there.
Yeah. I don't know if Earth, Wind, and Fire, like, if they're all still alive, but they're, they have one of those iconic songs that, like, we talked about.
Are Earth, Wind, and Fire still alive?
It's kind of a gangster ass band name, too.
Yeah, that is a pretty good name. Earth, Wind, and Fire is a band. So asking, the band remains active. The band remains active and touring as of 2025. Wow.
Damn, good for them.
Philip Bailey, still alive, 74.
Oh, they said the lead singer is dead, though. Yeah, Matthew McConaughey's mom was 93, and they showed a picture.
Oh, you're right.
She
Two deceased members.
I always find 93? Matthew McConaughey's mom.
Oh, okay.
She looked like good for 93. I mean, like, it's crazy.
Yeah, lead singer is dead. So dead is Maurice White and Fred White. So Maurice White was a founder, did vocals, drums, died in 2016.
They did a concert last night.
And Fred White died in 2023. He was a drum player.
I always find it weird when like these iconic bands like fill in, you know, the role of like someone who passed away with like someone else. It's just an awkward kind of stuff. Like anyone who's trying to fill, like, who was like when JD Vance filled in for the Charlie Kirk show. It's like if you pass away, like just leave your chair empty. It'd be weird to like have the Tom Kalinske show with Bob fucking.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the same. People are like, this is not Kyle. This kid's not secular talk, you know?
Yeah, like just end the show.
End the show. Got to.
Oh. It's the Jewish New Year. So
yeah, Rosh Hashanah, right?
Rosh Hashanah. Are there any holidays that any holidays you still celebrate or anything? I mean, like Christmas.
Halloween. I mean, we celebrate all of them, but you know, I don't really care about them.
I found it weird because we go to a Reformed temple, but on Sundays, my daughters go there for like this class, but they rent that shit out to a church on Sundays. So a church comes into the temple and upstairs they do like church shit. And I'm so like thrown off because they got these big ass signs and it's like Ignite Church or some shit, like services here. And I'm like, I feel like there's one group of people that you can't rent your shit out to, and it's like the exact. It's like fucking. the Nike headquarters being like
Adidas
on Sunday, and then just renting that shit out to Adidas to like hold their meetings and stuff.
No, they get 2-for-1 education. They get education in Judaism and they get some in Christianity too. That's funny.
Because I saw there's a dad of one of the kids I know, and like the kitchen is upstairs. So one time I was like bringing my girls upstairs because they were cooking some shit in the kitchen. And there's a Hispanic dude, and he got mad excited when he saw me. He was like, "Oh, like you come to this church too?" And I had to explain to him that I was Jewish and that like the shit he was in was also a temple. So it was like the most awkward shit ever. Like it's kind of weird that they fucking rent that shit out to a church, but
they do that by us. Like in the place we live,
Uh-huh.
they'll do like on the weekend, they'll just take like the elementary school and it'll just become a church.
Yeah, that's so
and it's
weird.
like, first of all,
You can't do
does
that.
that violate some separation of church and state type shit? Because it kind of feels like it might do that, you know?
Scotty's school last year was in a fucking church, and like there's big ass Jesuses on the wall, there's big ass crosses, and I kind
That's
of like
wild.
it was her UPK, like pre-K shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Because it was probably private, right? Pre-K is probably not universal. Is
no,
it?
it was.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was universal.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was like,
okay.
yeah. And they had it at a church, and every time I'd go in that shit, I kind of was like, I think she asked me one time, like, what is this big dude on the wall type of shit? And I was like, oh, that's Jesus. Like, yeah, he just kind of is chilling. But yeah,
I hated that, bro. I had to go. My mom sent me to like Catholic school. I went to.
yeah.
I'm talking about like the religious training. I forget what they call it. There's actually a term for it, but I'm blanking on what it's called. But anyway, you would go and they would teach you shit, but like they would go a little OD. Like sometimes they'd be like, yeah, like Jesus rose from the dead, and humans have been alive for 6,000 years, and Adam and Eve was the first people on Earth, right? But then like you go to public school and then you learn about like evolution, and actually the world has been around for 4.54 billion years.
Yeah.
And like I remember just thinking like both of these shits can't be right. Like you can't be Adam and Eve on the one hand, but then also like we evolved from apes on the other hand, and we're way older. Like, and so obviously I went with the science route, but it was just kind of crazy to me that as a kid, like in like third grade or some shit, they're trying to tell me like, yeah, Adam and Eve were the first humans. It's like I'm sorry, but you cannot have like a functioning society when you try to brainwash the entire all of the children, or the children who have religious parents, where it's like, you're going to believe some shit that we know is false. We're just going to make you like almost like on some Santa Claus type shit, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. I just feel like you do a disservice to the kids. You're like, you could be religious, but also be a little more connected to reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, be like, oh yeah, we believe in God because there's a lot of things we can't explain, and like it's mysterious, and I mean the world is kind of crazy, so you need some sort of father figure to create everything or whatever. Like you could believe that without trying to tell me that like science is fake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I don't like have the best explanations for shit too, because then they would just be like, well, why aren't we Christian or Catholic? And like, what church would we go to? And I'm just kind of just like, yeah, I
don't worry about that.
Have an answer for that shit. Like we're Jewish. Like that's how it is. And then it's just like, well, every day, like, why do I go to this church? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like, just but like,
some people, bro, and the crazy thing is too that they're smart because they're asking those questions.
Yeah, but I fucking give them dumbass answers, so they're probably like, let me stop asking questions like this because my dad's an idiot.
But low key though, like some people have like a crisis over that if they don't. Who was it? It was one. I feel like it was one of Rogan's friends, Eddie Bravo, I think it was, where he was talking about how he like had a crisis when the first time he realized that not everybody is Catholic. He was raised Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he was old enough and he learned not everybody's Catholic, he was like, well, wait a second. Like, so then you're telling me like we're the only ones going to heaven, and we're this small percentage of and what about those other people? Shouldn't we try to save them and get them to go to heaven? Like, and then you realize like, oh, you can't, like there's over 4,000 religions, like none of them are right. Like they're all sort of made up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like people will fucking die for some OD religious shit if they really believe it. Like they will die on it. And it's like, I don't know. It just strikes me as so narcissistic because it's like, dude, there are over 4,000 religions. Do you really think you just happen to be born into the right one? Like, yeah, my parents told me this one was real, so this one's got to be real. It's like, come on, man. Like, this is ridiculous. Like,
and it's not till you get to like your whatever 30, 35 that you start doing your own research and kind of like change your shit or like choose a new religion. But it's kind of like a baseball team. Like, why are you that religion? Oh, my dad was a Yankees fan, so I'm a Yankees fan. You know, like unless there's a reason why you switch, you're just born whatever your parents are to that shit, you know?
Yeah, and some people will, the people who like are not really religious, they'll adopt like, oh yeah, I'm Catholic or whatever, or I'm Jewish or I'm Protestant or whatever, just based off of, like you said, like, oh, my parents were that. But they know, like, I don't look at this like it's a philosophy, and like I look at it like in the same way, where are you from? Oh, I'm from America, or I'm a New Yorker, or I'm this. And they just add that as part of their identity. It's the ones who are really involved in the shit, believing it and parsing it. It's like, that's weird. Like, that's just weird, because you know it's not right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know that's not right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like, even, I'm thinking to a sports team. Like, I'm a Knicks fan, but I'm not gonna like convince you to be a Knicks fan. Like, if you want to be a Knicks fan, like, just be a Knicks fan. But like, I'm not that passionate about the shit enough where I'm gonna be like convincing you to do that shit. Same shit with religion. Like, yo, chill. Like, you could be that shit, but let me just rock with whatever the fuck I want to be.
Yeah, and you can't pretend like there's literally only one true answer, that you could only be a true fan of the Knicks, and anybody who's a fan of the Hawks is lying and wrong and gonna go to hell. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy, you know?
That is kind of wild.
You want to get into some super chats in this bitch?
Yeah, let's rock. I saw these. I brought them up. These are what I'm gonna send you.
Oh, hell yeah. I don't even
know what type of cheesy that shit is, but
it's got to be good, though. I think I like those.
I can't read that shit. If anyone reads Korean or some shit,
let me know what I'm going to be eating, because I'm going to be eating them shits.
And then this was the other meat flavor one that I had got.
Okay. All right. That shit might be, if that's Korean.
Italian red meat flavor. And I got to get some more.
Could be pretty solid. We'll see.
Shout out to Lays for making them shits. All right, let's get into some of these shits.
Viltrumite rule would fix every issue you care about 1,000-fold. Viltrumite rule? I'm gonna look.
That sounds like a Harry Potter character.
What is the Viltrumite rule?
Viltrumite is definitely some Harry Potter motherfucker.
The Viltrumite rule from the Invincible comic series and its animated adaptation refers to the expansionist doctrine of the Viltrum Empire, a militaristic alien race of superhuman warriors who conquer planets to impose their authoritarian governments across the galaxy. Key aspects include conquest and subjugation, benevolent facade, breeding and empire growth, execution rituals. Overall, is portrayed as a tyrannical survival of the fittest regime disguised as progress. That's like kind of like what we have
right now.
Yeah, I think we're already.
What is it from a cartoon?
It said it is from the Invincible comic series and its animated adoption.
So anime shit. I still don't know anything about anime.
Well, it's not the Invincible comic series. That's what it says. Invincible comic series, whatever that is. Kyle, you're really good at coming up with talking points, but for the left example, not enough cocaine for a bachelor party. Keep crushing it. Thank you, sir. He's talking about when Trump bombed the first Venezuelan boat, that he said they were narco terrorists on board, but the boat was this little dingy ass fishing boat. And so I was like, first of all, even if they had drugs, that's not even enough cocaine for a bachelor party. And so that's what that person's referring to.
Oh,
thank you, Brian. Appreciate it, man.
I don't think Trump is the person behind these decisions of like blowing up a random Venezuelan boat. Like, you really think he knows about that shit?
Yeah, I do. I think, well, I don't know if he's calling every specific shot, but he definitely gave the green light for war with Venezuela. Definitely. Because he's being lobbied by this guy, Eric Prince, who runs Blackwater, which is this like mercenary army. And Eric Prince has been lobbying for this shit. And so,
so if there's someone that's like kind of like directing him towards it, and then he just has to say yes.
Too, who's a cuck to Blackwater also. So like everybody around him is like, let's just do as much war as we can. And he's like, okay.
Thanks, Brian.
Sinclair announced they still won't air Kimmel on 38 ABC stations, according to the Hollywood Reporter. That is correct, CK Progressive. That is correct. I saw that as well. Not good. Not good. Sinclair is known to be conservative, too. There was a famous video that came out in 2018, I believe, where have you seen this video, Corin, where it's like local news anchors, and they all start saying the exact same shit?
Yeah, John Oliver did a thing, and it was like the Brady Bunch, and they all kept coming in, and
that's
that was
Sinclair.
nuts. That was nuts.
That's all Sinclair. So they get the main script, and everybody says the same shit. Very authoritarian.
So scary. That's so scary.
Super scary. Yep.
And it's to a point now where, I mean, these mainstream kind of bigger names can have the freedom to kind of say some shit against Trump, but these local news stations that are so reliant on whether it's ad money and just beholden to the Sinclair executives, they're gonna just be saying shit. They're just gonna be saying the shit that the executives want them to say, which is even scarier.
Yep.
Because they've got no skin in the game.
Old school TV shit, I don't know, man. It must be impossible to work for them, because so many rules and regulations, and you got to say only what they want to hear. And it's I don't know, that would just be too much pressure, That
would be a lot. Yeah. Oh, crazy.
Yo, Kyle, even if it's true, isn't comparing Trump to Hitler stochastic terrorism? No. How could those saying this condemn any act of violence against him? I mean, look, we have to be able to, I always say this on my show, right? Truth is always a defense. And so if he's doing some Hitler-ass shit, we need to be, by the way, I covered a story today. Trump's former lawyer, his White House lawyer, compared what he was doing to Nazi shit. Because in Nazi Germany, one of the first things they did when they took control of the government is they fired 5 comedians. They were called witticistes at the time, but they fired 5 of them. And so the point that he was making, he was like, well, that's literally what this was an attempt to do, is get a comedian fired for making fun of him. And that's how it starts. So what they're doing is they're trying to buy up big parts of the media. That's why, CBS is being taken over by a right-wing billionaire. They're trying to take over CNN now too, actually. TikTok is being taken over by right-wing billionaires. So you have all these right-wing outlets that are just pro-MAGA, and then the ones that aren't pro-MAGA, Trump is waging lawsuits against them and trying to get the FCC to fucking break them up and shit and take away their licenses. So, I mean, we have to call that what it is. You can compare it to Nazi Germany. You could also compare it to Putin, because he did a very similar thing with the media in Russia.
North Korea shit.
North Korea, you have to be able to have open and honest conversations and tell the truth. And if somebody's going to take that and then make a leap of logic and do some fucked up shit, that's on that person for doing that. Because, I think I'm pretty clear, and other people watch me are clear. To me, it's the most obvious thing in the world. Yeah, don't do violence. Don't murder people. The only time I'm okay with violence is if it's for imminent self-defense. You have to do it type shit.
Yeah.
So I'm clear on that shit. I'm not in favor of any kind of offensive violence, but I'm also in favor of just telling the truth. And, you can't censor yourself because the other side is going to smear you and take you out of context and lie about what your actual position is. You just have to tell the truth and then let the chips fall where they may,
Yeah.
But shout out, Matt. You're a true G.
Real.
Always hooking us up with some nice super chats. Appreciate it. Always getting us thinking too. Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers to Matt. Did you see Demi Jor praise Nick Fuentes and say, who hasn't been accused of anti-Semitism, in response to people calling him an anti-Semite? How does someone go from a leftist to Nazi apologia? Ryan's World, that is a great question. Thank you for the $10, by the way.
Yeah.
And look, I think we all know the answer to that question. How does that happen? It happens. It's the Bernie to Trump pipeline, where it definitely exists. It wasn't as big as people pretended it was, but there are some prominent media figures who did that Bernie to Trump pipeline, and Jimmy Dore is probably the number one culprit. And what happened was COVID sort of radicalized him, right? COVID made him, his more libertarian side come out. He also spent so many years beating up on Democrats from their left that he just sort of got obsessed with just the beating up on Democrats part, and eventually dropped the facade of beating up on Democrats from their left and just started beating up on them in any way, even from their right. And so it was this Democrat derangement syndrome mixed with COVID conspiracy shit, mixed with other conspiracies too. He sprinkled in belief in other conspiracies. So it's this general anti-establishment feeling, but also being anti-science and anti-intellectual. All of those things led to like it was just a perfectly ripe place to be to end up on the right, like pandering to right-wing audiences, getting right-wing audiences. And like when you're in that lane, he looks at somebody like Nick Fuentes and thinks like, oh, this guy's, kind of doing the same thing I am. Maybe let me try to get some popularity off him, And so that's why I think they were going to do an interview. Jimmy Dore was going to interview Nick Fuentes, but that was the day that Charlie Kirk got shot.
Oh, wow.
And so Jimmy, I think, canceled the interview. I don't know if they're rescheduling it or anything, but the reason why I think Jimmy felt like I got to fucking cancel this is because the video Jimmy originally did where he gave Charlie Kirk credit was because because Nick Fuentes was beating up on Charlie Kirk. So he did this segment where he was like, oh, this guy Nick, he's having a moment. He's onto something here. And he was praising him for disagreeing with Charlie Kirk. And so it'd be kind of weird if the day that dude gets killed, you invite on this guy to talk about how much you both hate the guy who just got killed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So he would have gotten canceled.
Yeah. So
that day.
Totally. So I don't know if they're actually going to get together, but yeah, I'm not surprised by it at all. I mean, he's gone fully down that right-wing pipeline where he went from like anti-establishment left-winger to like anti-establishment radical centrist to just like anti-establishment right-winger to just right-winger. Like that's just who he is now. It's a shame. It's a real shame.
It's crazy though that like it could have went the other way too. Of like if Bernie won, how many right-wing people would have switched over to being leftists? Like that.
That's a good point. That's an interesting point. I never thought of that, but that's probably true. That like the cultural power and sway of Bernie winning would have made it so that like anti-establishment Trump supporters maybe would have. Because what happened is the media would have started beating up on Bernie, and Bernie would have had to fight back, and these people would have been like, "Oh, look at him owning the media," So yeah. I think there would have been some that did that, and it would have been more lucrative at the time if Bernie won. They would have felt like, "Oh, this is where the bread is buttered now. Let me go in that direction."
Yeah. Look at Rogan. Rogan went from Bernie to Trump.
There you go. He's another example of the Bernie to Trump pipeline, and that one really killed me because he was given all the tools and all the policy points from me to know better than that. And he still did it, which is fucking disgusting. He should have known better. It's disgraceful.
Was it a true video I saw that they wouldn't let this Nick Fuentes into the Charlie Kirk thing yesterday? Like they were kicking him out?
Oh, I didn't see that. I
saw a video of him like he had like a whole group of people with him and they weren't letting him in the event or something like that.
Really?
He could have been at the end, but I'm pretty sure they weren't.
Surprised he tried to go. I'm not sure if that one's true. I gotta.
Oh, really? All right. Yeah, I mean, it could have been a different shit, but I think.
No, maybe you're right. I just didn't see. If that happened, I didn't see it. I wasn't like recommended.
I feel like they would embrace that dude. Like he's got a huge following.
He started this thing called the Groypers are his followers. He started this thing called the Groyper War against Charlie Kirk, where for like 4 years.
Oh, they were at each other.
Oh, for 4 years straight, they like harassed the shit out of Charlie Kirk. Basically, they were like, Charlie Kirk is not right wing enough. He needs to be more of a Nazi.
Gotcha.
So they tried to like force him to be more of a Nazi,
So yeah, it might have been true though, because I don't think they let him in that shit. But Ryan's World, thank you, bro. That's your channel. Change that shit, bro. There's only a Corin's World. No,
Kyle, Ultimate, John Stewart, Glazer Klinsky, run against and primary Mark Wornout Warner. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Thank you, Grand Regent Thrag. Appreciate the $5, man. But I am not interested in running for office.
Where's Mark Warner out of?
Virginia.
Oh, he's in Virginia?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Grand Regent.
Shout out to Jack Rue. Thanks for the $10. What do y'all think of satchels, bags, purses for men? I went to Europe without one and fixed that immediately. Way better than pockets. So let me say this. I see Corin's face. Let me say this. I'm going to hit you with the radical, enlightened, centrist take on this. So from my perspective and from Corin's perspective, based on his face, I look at that and I'm like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing? Come on, dog. But having said that, I feel like
you're a practical man.
I feel like a bag for men, that's one of those shits that is so fucking cultural that it's easy to imagine a world where that becomes the masculine shit. It's easy to imagine a world where a guy carrying a bag is just like absolutely nothing to anybody and everybody looks at it like, that's fine. That makes sense. Like, that's what guys do. Yeah. It's sort of like the high heels, how high heels used to be masculine and then they became feminine.
Yep.
Because they were masculine when Ottoman soldiers would wear them because they would need them to lock in on their horse. Help lock them in place. Yeah. So that's an example of like used to be masculine became feminine, or like the blue and pink being the boy color and the girl color and that flipping.
Yep.
So this is one of those things where easily I can imagine it changing. But for right now, of course, I'd feel like I would be a little self-conscious if I wore one. But hopefully in time that one will change. You know, I'm in favor of that one changing. Same way earrings sort of became, you know, anybody could wear earrings. I think we're getting there with nail polish. I think we'll get there with men wearing bags eventually.
Yeah, you kind of swayed me a little bit because I mean, there's a lot of times where I wouldn't do it right now. I'd wear a fanny pack. I'm comfortable wearing a fanny pack.
Rogan tried to make those masculine, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, there's something to when I wear shorts or jeans and my wallet's in there. Like I still remember when my dad would like drive, he had a diesel ass wallet in his back pocket. And if he just came out the car and had some purse shit with his wallet and his phone, I'd be like, all right, that makes sense. Like your pockets are free of this. And like he used to say his back would hurt because his wallet was like in his back pocket.
My dad would do the same shit, bro.
If there's like a practicality behind it, like you with the cell phone case on your hip, like you wore that shit like at nauseum because you were like, it just makes sense for me to have my shit here. You know?
I needed my pockets for other shit, so I was like,
exactly.
Yeah.
So like I don't think the pockets were designed to like hold massive fucking wallets and like these huge cell phones and shit like that. You know, like there's cargo pants, and if you want to use the cargo pocket for your shit, then yeah. But I think they'll, to your point, there'll come a time where there is, you know, bags, purses. I guess you got to just change the terminology of how you kind of phrase that shit. But I don't know. It depends. Like I wouldn't wear some crossbody shit. Like I wouldn't try to make it fashionable. I would just like a backpack, yes. A purse. Purses to me don't even seem practical because it's like it's hanging off your shoulder. The shit falls off. Like I don't know.
Let me just say that this conversation, you convinced me to try to bring back the cell phone clip again. I think I'm gonna go back to rocking a cell phone clip.
I didn't know you ever got rid of that shit. I don't know why you got rid of that.
It's been maybe 5 years since I wore one, but I think I'm gonna bring that shit back because to me,
you might have trouble finding that shit.
That's true. That's true. And I might have trouble finding like my clicks thing stopped working, by the way, unfortunately. The thing that my keyboard on my phone. Remember, I had a keyboard on my phone case. That stopped working. So that thing was kind of cheaply made, I think. But to have this is the MagSafe shit where you could charge it without
everybody with that shit. I never got one of those.
But now, like, I want to be able to pop this bitch into a clip, and I think you need a special case for the clip. So I don't know. Maybe I'll be able to find something, maybe not. But I hope I can because this conversation convinced me I got to stay true to my beliefs, bro. Because I've always been a cell phone clip guy. When we were in high school, cell phone clips were cool, bro. That's how old we are. When we were in high school, you're walking around high school in 2005, and it's like, you better have a cell phone clip. That looks cool. Yep. You know,
but we also had smaller phones, and those shits used to like spin. You could like turn them; they would like be on a rotation. This is like too big on.
It's a little bulky. It's a little bulky. Yeah, that's true. It's a little bulky.
Why I mean, Jack, you might be onto something, man. Like I'm not knocking you for getting one of those and rocking that shit, because honestly, I wear these type of sweaters now with like these like little, and I throw all my shit in the pocket here because it weighs me down throwing too much shit in my pockets. So, you know,
why not just
give me with a purse?
Okay, maybe I'm missing something that's very obvious here, but like a guy wearing a backpack is viewed as normal as fuck in the US.
Yep.
You know, and that's a bag, like you're carrying a bag. I guess what he's saying is one that's like not like that, one that's in the front maybe.
Yeah, purse is more like U-shapey, you know, like
right. It's not backpack type shit.
Yeah, backpack gangster. Big. Like anyone rocking a backpack, I love people rocking backpacks. I think you're like, you know.
And you know, like those Nike ones and like the sporty ones that just are just like one compartment to it. Yeah, the drawstring shit. I feel like that is just like that's just a classic.
Totally acceptable. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But shout out to you, Jack. I'm like, I'd be curious what
got us thinking, bro.
Bag you got. Trendsetter, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, you got us thinking. Listen to you while doing accounting homework. Kyle, will the White House follow through on invading Afghanistan or Venezuela? Corin, which NFL team are you going for? So let you answer your part first.
I'm a Jets fan. They're 0-3. It's unfortunate. I was at the Mets game on Sunday while the Jets game was going on. I was watching that shit on my phone. The Jets were down like 23-6. They came back and took the lead. They blocked the field goal and like went up with a minute left, and everybody was hype. And then the Buccaneers just came down the field and won the game. It's like typical Jets fan.
Haven't the Jets always sucked since the Boomer Esiason era? They've been trash every year, right?
Always. They had Vinny Testaverde was like solid for a hot second where they made the AFC Championship, and then lost to the Broncos. But they haven't made the playoffs since 2011 or some shit like that.
They haven't made the playoffs since 2011.
Playoff. Yeah, it's like the longest running streak. It's like, yeah, like 18, like some wild shit, whatever that is. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough being a Jets fan right now.
Yeah, and 0-3 is like, oh well, season's already fucked.
Same with the Giants. They're 0-3.
Giants are 0-3 too. No shit.
Yeah, they had a player on the Chiefs. They played the Chiefs last night. Derek Jones, I think his name is. He's like their star player. And every season, apparently he would ask Russell Wilson for a jersey after the game, and Russell, I guess, never got him one, or like it just never happened. And then after the game, the reporter was like, "Did you ask Russell for like a jersey?" And he was like, "Nah, I don't want that. I don't want it anymore." It's wild when someone gets washed up, bro. It's just like it's kind of sad. Like, and it happens with a lot of I mean, it happens with a lot of like people. It's like someone's at their like. Someone could look at Tiger Woods now. A kid could look at Tiger Woods now and just be like, "Yo, he's washed," and just forget about like how good someone was at some point, and then lose interest in them.
It's funny you say that because I was thinking about that actually yesterday. So me and Crystal played like 2 days straight of like very intense, like 1.5, 2 hour long tennis.
Yeah,
where we were like sprinting and we were just like got a good cardio workout in. And I was just when I woke up in the middle of the night to go pee, I was on some OD old man, stiff as a board, shuffle into the toilet type shit.
Yep.
And then I had the thought, I was like, hold up, man. I'm 37 years old. Tiger is about to be 50.
That's crazy.
He's had what? 6 back surgeries, multiple knee surgeries. He's had his leg basically reconstructed after that car accident shit. I've had 0 surgeries like that. I'm 37 and like I was like, damn, I'm not like fit to do this shit, walking to the toilet at night. Imagine what he's like. He must be on some like I need a walker type shit right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, yeah, 6 back surgeries is fucking wild.
Insane, bro. Insane. But let me answer. I didn't answer Jacob's portion for me. So will they follow through on invading Afghanistan or Venezuela? That's a tough question to answer because Trump's style in this second term, what it's been is like, he wants to start the shit, but then he wants to like just say it's over and he won. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what he did with Iran. He allowed the bombing to happen for a hot minute and like helped Israel bomb him. And then he bombed the nuclear site. And then he was like, all right, that's it. It was great. We win. And like, that's what he did. He did that shit. He did that with Somalia. He did that shit with Yemen. Like he's done it with a number of different places. And so now he's already attacked 3 boats in Venezuela. But I don't know, man. I feel like he might go all the way on this one. Like I feel like with this and with Afghanistan, he keeps saying he wants to take back Bagram. I could see him saying that and then not realizing that it's not as easy as just like taking it back.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. What does invading consist of? Like just sending troops in there and just fucking taking over towns and shit? Like what? Like just straight stealing shit from them?
Regime change. For Venezuela, it would be like overthrowing the government, right?
Okay.
And like I don't put that past them to try it. I don't put it past them to do some failed special operation shit. I don't put it past them to do a false flag attack where they attack one of the U.S. ships themselves and then blame Venezuela and then use that to invade. I could see that. With Bagram, I could see him trying to go back in and take Bagram Air Base, thinking it'll be easy as fuck, and then like the U.S. will take it over, and then the Taliban attacks them, and then there's like this big fucking firefight. Like I could see. To answer your question, bro, Jacob, anything is on the table, dog. Like because who would have thought like he would within the first year he would have already attacked Iran? Like who would have thought that? You know?
Yeah.
And here we are. That's what he did. So and it can only get worse. So I think some other shit is going to happen. Because if I told you 4 months ago he's going to start bombing Venezuelan boats regularly and have 10 warships in the Caribbean by Venezuela with 4,500 troops ready, you'd be like, nah, that's too crazy. He wouldn't do that shit. He's already done that. We already have the troop buildup. We already have the 10 warships. That's already there. And he's already done 3 attacks. So he's going to do some other shit for sure.
Yeah. When you go pee in the middle of the night, you turning the light on or are you blindfolding that shit? Straight darkness?
So,
do you have that toilet light shit? Didn't you say you bought that one time?
We did, but it's like runs on a battery or something, so it runs out quickly. So we don't bother putting the, it just becomes.
You got to put your hand in the toilet to change that shit?
No. It's not like in the toilet. It's just like sort of by the seat underneath the toilet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But no, we don't have that anymore. But we have on our kitty water fountain that has a light on it that's on like all the time, and so that's enough for me to walk in Between that and there's still like a little bit of like moonlight that shines into the room, that's enough for me to piss without having to turn a light on. Because
perfect.
Yeah, because those lights, like a light can be way too strong in the middle of the night like that.
And it could throw your whole shit off. Like,
OD.
you try to get back to sleep after that.
OD.
Yeah, I'm luckily the lights in our house have a dimmer on it, so like I could put it a little low.
That's smart. That's good.
But Molly will have me do laundry at night, and I'll always start the laundry, fall asleep, and then in the middle of the night forget that the shit's in there, and I got to turn the light on to the basement, so that shit throws my whole shit off because I got to turn the light on, walk down like 5 steps, move some wet clothes shit over, and then try to get back into bed, which will throw my whole shit off.
That's rough, dog. That's a rough one. That's rough.
Yeah, the light in the middle of the night is that's a tough battle.
Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night and have to stay up for a little bit before you get back to sleep or no?
I've been good, but sometimes I'll like just pick up my phone and start scrolling some shit, and it'll be like an hour later, and I'm like, am I ever gonna fall back asleep? Because I don't feel tired. Then like 10 minutes later, it'll hit me, and I'll just fall back asleep.
Yeah, same with me. I feel like 95% of the time I'm good, but 5% of the time I might wake up and then just.
It's crazy that like, did you feel like you're sleeping, then all of a sudden you're just like, you'll wake yourself up and you're like, I got to take a piss, or it's just like uncomfortable to sleep and you're like, I got to go run and take a piss real quick.
You just like the feeling of having to piss naturally wakes you up.
Yeah, it's just
like where your body's like, yeah, just go piss real quick. Like your body's like, all right, time to piss, you know?
It's crazy that like, because my youngest daughter's potty training, that like she can't control it, but as an adult, it can be like 3:37 in the morning, and to your point, you're just like, your body's like, all right, you got to go pee.
Yep.
Stand up and go pee.
Better that than us having to wear like diapers our whole lives.
Yeah,
at
or
night, you know.
Imagine we just never we just never potty trained. And we still just pissed the bed.
Everybody just wears diapers all the time, or just like shits in the middle of the street when they're walking.
It's crazy, fucking yeah, shit in your pants. All right, thank you, Jake. It gets so much more messy than like,
from the old studio, Kyle. Well, you guys, is it the same person asking every week about the old studio?
Or I don't know. I feel like it's come from like different people.
Different people. Okay, that's amazing. Yes, you will see the neon sign from the old studio again. So don't worry, it still exists. You will still see it. That's not sold to a pawn shop or anything like that. But I'm glad that people fucking really love that old studio. They built it. You know,
do you guys read all those books on the shelf behind you?
No, because here, so this is the study, and most of these books are actually children's books.
Oh, really?
Most of them are children's books. Yeah, this isn't like for my old bookcase back when people will remember my first studio and my old bookcase.
Yeah.
That was all
have like Xbox games on that bitch too.
Yeah, there probably were some Xbox games there too. But I had, like Noam Chomsky books and fucking like Tom Hartman and economics books and philosophy books and politics books, and because that was my bookcase. This one's not mine. And it's a mix, but a lot of these are children's books.
Yeah. Oh, I'm thinking the book shelf that was behind you on your show, yes, had books, but there was the one that was across from your bed. There was another shit there that used to have all like the Xbox games and stuff like that. It was either to the left or to the right or some shit. But I feel like your bed was in the corner, the TV was there, and then there was a stand, I feel like, with the Xbox games and shit in it.
Not gonna lie, dog, I had the dopest setup when I was living in my mom's basement.
Yeah.
Because I had one TV to you're laying in my bed, to the left and up is the TV.
Yep.
Right? So I'd sit there and I'd have the TV on watching whatever. But then I had another smaller TV that was like, if I'm laying in bed and looking this way, it's right on the dresser, which is right in front of me.
Oh, so you would just choose which one you wanted to watch, like the angle?
No. So there's only one that had cable on that bitch.
Oh.
And that was the one to my left.
Got you.
But the one in front of me was the video game TV.
Oh, that's gangster.
So I would one of the games I would play all the time, it was like NBA Live 2008, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I would sit
remember who was on the cover?
I think it was T-Mac. I think it was.
Oh, that was it. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
I think it was T-Mac. So I would sit there and play that shit all the fucking time and just like watch TV, play that shit, eat some pizza. Like I had a dope setup in that basement, man. And if it wasn't for that little cocoon, I don't know if I'd ever would have made it with my show, because it gave me the ability to like just spend all of my time. If I wasn't eating or just like chilling watching TV, I was always reading or doing my show. Like always prepping my show or doing my show.
It was a good little like nook, because when you walked out your shit, the laundry room was right there, right? And then there was the door, like you could exit on your own shit. Like you could kind of avoid if you didn't want to see your mom or some shit. Like you could just dip and come in through that door. Yeah, that was a gangster spot. Low key, you've got blessed with like chilling ass locations for like just life.
It's still there, but it's my mom. Obviously, I moved out so long ago that she's changed the room now, where my bed's not there, the other TV's not there. Now it's just like the bed is out of there. She put like a fold out mattress there, like a couch that's a fold out mattress. The TV's still there, but I think she got rid of the cable on that bitch. So it's basically like an extra room if you know my sister stays there with her family or whatever. If we stay there or whatever, which we don't need to do, but that's what it is now, which is a shame because you know I'm a big nostalgia guy, and like I love the idea that the basement that in New Rochelle that we always chilled in when we were growing up, that shit is still exactly the fucking same, bro.
That's
exactly the same. I love that too, and like I bet your place in New Rochelle, is that still the same, or have they updated?
I mean, it's the same like floor, same like cabinet shits on the left. But my mom, obviously, she took out the bed and she put like a dresser, like a desk in the corner, and she does like arts and crafting shit down there and like all that shit.
Now, did you get the idea to live in your basement from my basement? Because I know I slept in my basement at least half the time.
I don't know how that happened. How the transition happened. It might have just been like on some by default shit. Because I think my room growing up, well, like when I moved to New Rochelle, was across from my stepfather and mom's room. So I think it was just like a bigger space. And I was just like, can I take that shit? It might have been some inspiration behind your shit that I was like, this is a thing. Like you can live in the basement. And it was fucking best decision because I love that shit down there.
It was great, right?
So yeah, there's so much space. There's so much like we have our basement here. We use it for like storage, but then another room that I think is low key slept on is like the attic. Some people bless their attic and like turn it into a fucking awesome living space.
In fact, my mom asked me when we moved from New Rochelle. We went from New Rochelle to we lived with my grandma for a little bit, and then we moved to the place where my mom is now. And she said, "I'm gonna give you the option. Do you want the other room, the attic, or the basement?" So I remember the only reason. So the basement, the attic was a little
hotter,
bit, right? Maybe a little bit bigger overall,
really?
but it was super hot. It was so hot up there, and so I was like, you know what? I don't even think the AC will be able to knock this shit out. So I'm going to pass on the attic. I made the right decision, but to your point, yeah, you could make the attic really fucking cool. Like you could finish attic and make it look
like attics don't get enough love. I feel like they kind of are slept on. Like the attic is right next to me here. I'm kind of like scared to go in that shit, but low key, that could be like another room. That could be someone's shit.
Brilliant.
Definitely. Texas Leftist, appreciate you, dog.
The boys are back. Kyle and Corin merch when requesting tier list ranking or political compass type test. Thanks. Tier list. Okay, so people like when we do the ranking list.
I was going to do that today. I said to Molly, I said, should I do a ranking list of like the states? And she was like, that shit would be mad boring. What are your thoughts on that?
States might not be the best. I did one of those a while ago. States for us might not be the best. Right, didn't we still have some shit to finish? I don't remember. There was something we had to finish.
Yes, the 90s like nostalgia list.
The 90s nostalgia shit, we
we'll
still have
that
one. But political compass test would be kind of interesting too.
What's political compass test?
Political, it's like it asks you questions and it tells you where you fall on the political spectrum.
I mean, like people like, know where the fuck you stand on the political compass test. They do
people kind of know where you stand too. Like
I'm just like whatever.
We're kind of straightforward, but some people just like to watch us debate each question that comes up. Like here's
that's true.
And merch, I don't know. I'm not. Everybody knows I'm not big on merch.
Maybe I'll do some merch if enough people say they want some Kyle and Corin shit.
If Corin wants to do some merch, he might. Yeah, he might.
That could be fire. I'd rock a shirt. I'd buy one of my shits. Appreciate you, George. Thank you, bro.
Thank you, George. Appreciate it. Romanian Christmas party for life.
What that?
Shout out to the Romanian Christmas party.
Thank you, bro.
Kyle, if you're going to talk about Trump trying for war with Venezuela, you should talk about Trump turning Puerto Rico into a staging ground for said war. That's true. That is true. You know, I've read articles where they say that's how we know how many troops are there and what they're doing is because they're using Puerto Rico as a staging ground for war with Venezuela.
What's that mean? Like,
so they're sending like the troops are all going. Our U.S. troops are going to Puerto Rico. 4,500 of them are in Puerto Rico, and they're like preparing for war with Venezuela.
Oh shit!
You know what I'm saying? like the ships are docking there and
Oh.
whatnot. So it's kind of, I mean, they're part of the U.S. They're U.S. territory, but they're also like somewhat independent. But like now we're making them a target if we decide to attack fucking Maduro.
True. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Trump
saying?
probably
Like,
doesn't give a
now
fuck
they're
about
kind of a
that
target.
shit.
When did the Republican Party become the party of raw milk, anti-seed oils, anti-vax, etc.? Didn't that used to be a hippie almond mom lefty thing? Yeah, so Will, it's a good point. So yeah, there was a time where the anti-vax movement was more left-wing than right-wing, for sure. And it was like a hippie mom type shit where like they don't believe in like, you know, the shirt dyes and food dyes, and that's bad for you and it's toxic, and you know they believe all this alternative medicine type shit, not like the mainstream medicine shit. But it really ultimately was like a left and a right thing, because you also had these like really weirdly overly religious people who also were against vaccines and shit like that. And so, but now over time, I agree, it's sort of become just like more of a right-wing thing. Now like MAGA is completely fucking anti-vax, and now Maha with RFK, they're anti-seed oils and all these, they're pro-raw milk and shit. And so it went from like a left-wing thing to like a both sides thing to now just like a right-wing thing. It's been very weird watching the evolution of like the conspiracy mindset and like the junk science mindset. It's crazy how it's evolved over the years.
It's also the people that are fucking like talking about it, like RFK Jr., you know? And so it's like people... Right.
So now it's become just a right-wing thing. Now like lefties are almost universally pro-vaccine. Like very few are anti-vax.
I mean, look at
anymore.
the freedom of speech. Now, is that a fucking right-wing thing or the cancel culture? Like that's a right-wing thing now too.
And bro, I've always maintained that the pro-free speech thing, it's always been a left-wing thing. Like it was such bullshit when the right was pretending like they were all about it. Like, no you're not. No, you're not. It's always been a left that fucking defends.
Thanks, Will.
Boys, would you rather be a grape with a human mind or a human with a great mind? Been watching since 2013. Crazy how far things have come. Shout out Stavo Stavo. Appreciate it, man. I don't know how you pronounce Stavo or Stavo, but appreciate you. Thanks for the $5. To answer your question, I would probably rather be... So I think I'd pick human with a great mind, but it would depend like...
I'm going to eat you if you're a grape.
Yeah, like, but it would depend like how bad are my cognitive abilities? Are we talking like I literally can't do anything ever? Or is it like I'm just sort of like lobotomized?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if it's just like lobotomized type shit, then it's like, that's fine. Yeah. You know, I'll live an okay life.
I almost feel like I'm a human with a great mind as it is. So like, I think I got you on that one. Yeah, I don't think a grape with a human mind does anything for me. But appreciate you watching.
Yeah, it's like, what are you going to do if you have a human mind but you're that tiny? Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
How would you spend your time?
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know.
Kyle, have you seen Chuanhead's video accusing the left of celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder? She's some really dangerous and disturbing things. I haven't watched the video, but I saw the title and I saw some people commenting about the video. Honestly, I don't want to watch it, man. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to like. I don't want to feel negative things towards you.
She's like a lefty, right? Like
she was a lefty. Yeah, I think she's moved. She married somebody who I think is right leaning, and I feel like it's fair to say that over the years she's sort of moved further to the right. But yeah, like she was doing that whole thing, I guess, after Charlie was killed. Like, oh, the left are fucking evil because there's so many celebrating, and it's like, no, bro, the people celebrating were like based tanky 6969 on Twitter, like somebody with like 17 followers who nobody gives a fuck about. Bullshit. All of like the politicians, all the media figures, like anybody that matters was like condemned it. Yeah. Meanwhile, all the people that mattered on the right were screaming like civil war, they're all to blame them, they're the problem, they're evil, and it's like, don't fucking give me this shit. Like the left has this unique problem with violence or whatever. If anything, it's the exact opposite. All the statistics show about these political terror attacks. It almost always comes from the right. Like it's like 75 to 90% happen on the right. Yeah, so I don't know. I didn't watch it. I really don't want to watch it because I'm sure I would get triggered.
Yeah. Appreciate you though.
Kyle, when are you going on Hassan's stream? He's been on KKF, but it's been a hot minute since your last appearance on the Hassanabi broadcast. I mean, I'd love to do it, man. I would love to go on his stream. I noticed like he has a bunch of people in person. So I feel like that's one of the things I would kind of want to do in person. Like I'd want to be with him there in LA. I just don't have, any LA trip in the works or anything like that. But I mean, I'd love to do his broadcast. I mean, I would do it virtually too, but he would probably prefer in person. But
where was
me and him are friends. I talk to him relatively often, actually, Hassan.
That's what's up. Where was the one where you were like sitting down with a guy and there was like the most recent interview you just did?
You're talking about Joshua Citarella.
Yeah.
That was in DC.
Oh, nice.
He doesn't normally film out of DC, but he was in DC.
Oh, nice.
And so he did a bunch. He did one with me. He did one with Crystal. I think he did one with some other people too. And so we ended up sitting down for that. He normally, I believe, films out of New York, but he happened to be in DC. So we set up the thing, you know?
Yeah, Hassan would be dope. He was at TYT when we were there back in '88, like just sitting at a regular desk on some he wasn't even like he was big, but I feel like he wasn't like you were like, oh, you probably like that guy, like he likes basketball and shit like that, and I was like, yeah, I don't know who the fuck he is, and now he's like fucking huge, right?
He's been big for a while, but
really?
now he's like the #1 live streamer, political live streamer in the country. Yeah. Thoughts on Dave Smith saying Kimmel's firing was justified because he's part of the cathedral, citing Curtis Yarvin, principled free speech warrior, my ass. Yeah, Diego, I agree with you 100%. You know, it's really disappointing because every now and then Dave Smith will say something and you're like, oh, you're good. You're better than the other, you know, MAGA idiots. So when he was like saying Trump should be impeached over the attack on Iran, like he's had his moments where you're like, oh, that's awesome, man. Good for you. Like, good for you actually being principled. But then in a moment like this, if you're like defending the firing of Jimmy Kimmel, it's like, okay, well then just never ever mention fucking free speech ever again. Because you don't support it. You don't.
Israel guy, right? Who was like debating the guy on Rogan, Dave Smith?
Yes, it's Dave Smith versus Douglas Murray. Yeah. So Douglas Murray was the British guy. Dave Smith was the other guy.
What was the thing?
And they had that big debate.
It was you haven't been.
Yeah, you've never been. Or something like that. So yeah, that was a good debate for him. And he's come after me a few times. I've gone after him a few times. I generally like him. As far as people on the right go, he's as good as you're going to get. Like, you're not going to get better than him, where at least every now and then he'll say something that sounds reasonable and that you agree with. That's his libertarian streak. I always say I have a love-hate relationship with libertarians, and they have a love-hate relationship with me. If we're talking about war, if we're talking about drug policy, if we're talking about civil liberties, we'll agree completely. But as soon as they start talking about economics, I want to shove a pineapple up my ass. So, but yeah, I mean, him saying that was really fucking bad. Because like, imagine a scenario where Joe Biden's FCC pressured to fire a conservative comedian who's on late night
They'd
TV.
be going fucking ape shit.
And in a scenario like that, it wouldn't be hard for me to say, yeah, that's fucked up. Like, I don't like this comedian. This comedian sucks. He's not my style. But you can't have the government fucking twisting arms to fire people because they don't like what they're saying. That is literally a direct violation of the First Amendment. That's not a tough one to figure out. And that's what he's doing. He's doing the inverse of this. He's basically saying, fuck free speech because I don't like Jimmy Kimmel. So,
appreciate you, Diego.
Hi, Kyle and Corin. I finished my list of policy demands, 260 pages. Jeez Louise, man. Share it on the Discord. I love y'all. I mean, I'm fine with that. You probably want to run it by Lilith, who runs the Discord, but I'm sure you can. And I'm sure people would be happy to read that and enjoy that. Yeah. So thank you. Awesomely curious. I appreciate that. And that's a lot of work. 260 pages is no fucking joke, man. That's not just a list of policy demands. That's like a magnum opus.
The real deal. I'd be curious, like, what, like, is it all just your demands, or is it like people that you've like spoken about with that shit? But yeah, kudos to you. I don't know where the Discord or what the fuck a Discord is, but you sure.
Well, and by the way, while we're talking about Discord, I'll just say anybody watching our show now who wants to join that Discord, go right ahead and do it. If you click on any of my YouTube videos from today and scroll down into the description section, video description, you'll see the link. Lilith gave me the link for everybody if you want to sign up. If you're a troll, you'll get banned, just so you know. Like, they run a tight ship. They want to have like actual community. They don't want trolls or assholes in there. But if you want to become part of the community, you can do that.
That's what's up. Is that a different site? Like, is that like a Reddit type of shit?
Discord, yeah. It's kind of like, you know, it's like a message board type shit where people talk to each other and whatnot.
That's what's up.
Kyle and Corin, what are your thoughts on the JQ, and would you ever have it? Come on, man. I'm against the JQ. I think people who the JQ, Corin, is the Jewish question. It's like the anti-Semitic, like, oh, Jews run the world.
Shout out to the Jews. We run this shit, bro.
First of all, Corin, my best friend, is
man.
like this is.
We don't run shit, man. I ain't doing shit.
and anybody who's anti-Semitic, I just think it's stupid, right? Like, nobody's a tougher critic of Israel than me, but there's a huge difference between criticizing the government of Israel and criticizing Jews. Like, Jews are, I know a lot of Jews. All the Jews I know are wonderful fucking people. Like I said, a lot of them are the ones leading the charge saying, hey, Netanyahu, this shit is fucked up. You got to fucking stop doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing, is the right wing, like somebody like Nick Fuentes, somebody on the far right, when they criticize Israel, they're not actually criticizing Israel. They're just criticizing the Jews, and they're blaming the Jews for like every problem in the world. So I'm against that. And no, I wouldn't have Fuentes on, you know, I feel like every day, every time we do the show, somebody from the Fuentes community asks that question. I think I've made myself pretty clear that, you know, there's certain things I'm just not interested in debating. Like, I'm not interested in debating race and IQ shit. Like, hey, are black people inherently inferior? Like, I find that loathsome that anybody would even bother to debate such a thing. It's a fundamentally anti-egalitarian, anti-human idea that, like, sort of pegs people as second-class citizens right off the bat before you even get to real policy discussion. So I find that kind of gross. I find the JQ gross. I'm a lefty under the law, and it should be like that. So I don't like these debates about biological inferiority or whatever the fuck, and so I'm not interested.
Shout out from Freer, Texas.
His name is Adolf Rizzler. Come on, man.
Yeah. I said that shit, and I was like, is that his name? And then I was like, I saw Rizzler as his last name. All right, we'll fly through some of these.
I'm not backing off the boycott. We need to use our money to vote. Fight back now or never. Thanks for the show, y'all. Shout out to Millennial Diligence. I believe he's referring to the Disney boycott.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, look, I honestly think the reason why they brought Kimmel back is because the boycott was so overwhelming. So because people like you did the boycott, that's what made them go, oh, shit, we got to bring him back. So shout out to everybody who partook in that, because it actually fucking worked. It actually worked. Kyle, did you know ending the individual right to own a firearm will require overturning D.C. versus Heller? SCOTUS would abrogate liberty for a second time. Yeah, like, I mean, I'm sure that's true. That, like, they've ruled, like, oh, there is an individual right to own a firearm. That's probably true, but it's one of those things, just sort of like money in politics, how I think they just fundamentally misread the Constitution and they acted like corruption's fine. I don't think it is. So, I mean, ideally, you'd have a Supreme Court that's left-leaning and then they could overturn that, but that's unfortunately a long way away.
Matt Real, I missed this one. And then
Kyle, whether it's AOC, Jon Stewart, any progressive presidential candidate, can we expect you in a prominent role in their campaign despite YouTube channel? No, you can't. No, you can't expect me as a prominent role in their campaign. Because my job is what my job is, right? Like, I'm the guy on the internet who talks about the news and gives my opinion, and yeah, I mean, I'll talk like strategy and advice and shit. And if any one of those people is interested in like just hearing my thoughts behind the scenes, I'm happy to give it to them. But I will not officially be a part of any campaign. No.
All right, I'm gonna go through some of these faster.
You said you were worried about being scrubbed off platforms. If that happens, I'd freely make you a site to host videos and take donations. I'd be happy to fight against any crackdowns like that. Thank you, Path of Wasti. If you want to join the Discord, and you can reach out to Lilith, and if we ever cross that bridge, I'll make sure to reach out to you.
Holla.
Wes Nelson, thanks for the $10. Quick question: when is the right time to get out of this country? Future is looking very bleak. And have you had the same convos with your wives like I have been with mine? Love the pod, fellas. Wes, the answer is yes. We've had that conversation many times. Like, hey, should we actually leave? This is getting kind of really bad. You know, I don't know. Have you guys had that conversation? I feel like me and Crystal are in a unique position because we're political figures who shit on the government, and the government is insane.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I think I've joked about that shit, but like, it's not actually anything that's practical of like picking up the family. And
yeah. We've more than joked about it. Like, we've talked about it and we've thought about it. And yeah, but it's such a massive undertaking that you have to be 100% in on it, you know?
Yeah, I feel like it's so.
But to answer his question, honestly, I think the time to leave was actually 3-4 months ago. If I'm being honest, I feel like people should already be out of the bitch.
I appreciate you, Wes. Man, Yairo, or I think I'm saying
Trump bailing out Argentina, Malay tanked the economy, invisible hand of the free market is inevitable and inexorable unless it's an authoritarian weirdo. We bet on that it's unlimited Marshall Plan. That's right. So what this guy's referring to is we're now bailing out Argentina because they're psycho-libertarian, tanked their fucking economy, skyrocketed poverty, skyrocketed unemployment, skyrocketed inflation. And so now he got an IMF bailout. Now he's going to get a bailout from the U.S., even though he tanked the fucking economy. This is like their right-wing pipe dream. Like, oh, this guy's policies will fix everything. Wrong. It made everything way worse, and now we need to rush in and save them. What happened to America first, right? I thought, this is what we do. We take care of America first. That's the whole Trump thing. No, we're fucking starting war with Venezuela. We're throwing a bunch of money at Argentina. Like, it's fucking ridiculous.
I just like this guy's handle name.
The Pancake episode where he interviews Congressman Richie Torres. It's worth a watch. I haven't seen the whole thing, but I've seen clips of it. And yeah, it was enjoyable. Hey guys, Kyle, as a former car salesman, can you give us tips on how not to get ripped off when buying a car? Much love from Vegas. Yes, I can. So here's the gist of it. If you're buying a new car, there's actually not much markup. So any sort of discount they give you off the sticker price is probably the best they could do. But if you're buying a used car, that's where you can actually save money because they mark those up way more than the new cars are marked up. And so if you're going to haggle over used cars, you don't have to go crazy haggling over new cars because there's really not that much profit in it. But in the used cars, it's a lot. So you know, go 2-3 rounds negotiating with them and say like, nah, I want this, and like lowball it, and then eventually stick to that, lowball it, do it 3 times or so, and then when they come back, they'll give you the actual rock bottom price, and then you go with
crazy that like that's the process. Like in a way, I think we've said this, like respect the Tesla model where it's just like, this is our price. There's no fucking haggling. Like the fact that like you have to go 3-4 rounds of like, I can do this.
It's some old school shit. Like I don't like that shit.
Let me
either.
go talk to my
ancient,
sales manager, and then they go to this fucking sleazier guy that's like,
yep.
Let me come over and talk to him. Like, hey, how you guys doing? I'm Ricky. And you're like,
look, for you, I can cut you a little bit of a deal. For you, what I'll do is I'll do this and this, and it's like, stop it.
It's such an unnecessary process, but I kind of love that it's still the process, like that it's still just old school like that. McDonald's Sprite is banging low key. So I don't know how people come up with these names and their avatars or those photos.
Great. Kyle, you have a bad track record judging people's true character, Rogador, but you were spot on on Dean Withers' Bro showed his true. I was like, wait, what? That's not anime. It's an animation. It's not anime.
I don't know what the fuck anime
Kevin,
is, man. But he was right on Rogador.
No. Kevin is right that I was wrong on those two because I thought I defended them too long. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Yeah, my problem is that I look for the good in people, and I'm too like I take people at face value. So if they say something, I'm like, okay, I'll tell you believe that, and that's what it is. But like, you know, I was too slow to catch on to the changes in them and how like nefarious it was, you know. But to be fair to me, once I got to the point where it was clear, I was fucking on the warpath. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, I mean, it's always a problem I'll have where I don't turn on people right away. It takes like a while. You got to build the case over time, and then I fucking realize it. So I'm not the best judge of character. But yeah, the Dean Withers thing, I assume he's talking about him like crying over Charlie Kirk, I guess. Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Appreciate you, Kevin.
Hey, I've been watching 2015. You helped move me out of the Republican Party. Appreciate all that you do. What's your prediction for the Ryder Cup? Love you too, Corin. Lead Hammer, that's a great question. So I want to say the U.S. because it's we're in New York at Bethpage Black. Did you know that, Corin? You got the Ryder Cup this week.
It's at
Bethpage Black in Long Island. Yeah, it's in Long Island. And the tickets, no, I'm not going. And their tickets are super fucking expensive. I've heard. But so I want to say the U.S. is going to win. I'll
always get like smacked.
We get smacked usually when it's it's overseas. We get smacked. But I feel like the Europeans just have a much better track record. I'm going to go with the Europeans in a slim victory. I'm going to say that. But I'll be rooting for the U.S.
Is the kid from Iona or New Rochelle or something on the Ryder Cup team? I think there's a kid from Westchester on the Ryder Cup team.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I think there's someone like a local kid that made the team. I think I saw that.
Huh. I did not know
that. But yeah, so the home like course advantage really plays that much of a difference. I feel like the European golfers are usually just that much better than us.
If you have 100,000 New Yorkers fucking yelling at you, it's kind of hard to play your best.
Yeah, that's true. And the travel, I guess you're right.
But they're always a better team. Like the Europeans actually bond. The Americans have always been like individuals who happen to play on a team together. You know.
That's
But shout out Leadhammer, appreciate the $20. That was very generous of you.
Thank you.
Shout out, Nick. Thank you for the $20. I'm a Marxist now, but I've been watching since 2019. Haven't stopped since then. You're such an honest, principled guy. Keep up the good fight, man. Oh, well, thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you to say. I never know how to react when I get like fawning praise. I always feel like I'm not worthy, but I appreciate kind words. Shout out, Jerry. Thanks for the $5. Video idea for Corin. You could find several prison food recipes that inmates create and rank them.
So all right, I could find several prison food recipes. I wouldn't even like. It's gonna be like peanut butter and jelly, like mac and cheese. Basic.
It's like they make creative shit out of shit you wouldn't expect.
Oh, that's pretty yank. All right, I'll look at that.
Shout out to Brian. Hey guys, Kyle. If the U.S. were to collapse as a country, do you think Canada would pick up where the U.S. left off? Corin, if you're in L.A., try King Taco. No, I don't think Canada would. I think Canada's a great place. I would much rather be in Canada than the U.S. right now, no doubt about it. But I think what's going to happen is pretty obvious. I think China's going to fill the vacuum. I think that they're going to be the world's leading superpower for the next generation. We're on the downswing. They're on the upswing. That's what it is, right? And I think the world will recognize that and work with China. But what will happen is like Europe and Australia and Canada, everybody will work with each other and around the U.S. You know what I'm saying? So that's my guess as to what will happen. We'll just continue to wane in our relevance.
Yeah, I'll try King Taco. That's a good one. Molly's going to San Diego, and then she's going down to Tijuana, and she's nervous that she's going to get back into the country.
The Dominican Republic claimed they found over 2,000 pounds of cocaine from the Venezuelan boat the U.S. blew up. Apparently, cocaine doesn't explode. It's amazing the shit they say, man. Holy shit. The lies they come up with for Trump
and it's just a different country every single time that's just like getting thrown into the wildfire.
I know, like less than 10% of the drugs that get in this country come from Venezuela, and they're trying to pretend like it's the big, like we're doing this for drugs. It's like, no, the fuck you're not. No, the fuck you're not. The drugs come from fucking Colombia, which is like an ally of ours. Yeah. You know?
Oh, thanks, FA.
Hey, Kyle, I don't think Trump is too worried about the value of the dollar plummeting while gold increases. Have you seen the White House? Yeah.
But just all gold shit? Isn't it fake gold?
Yeah, everything's gold. Yeah. The fucking Oval Office is just gold. It looks fucking ridiculous. It looks ridiculous.
Metalhead Matt, appreciate you, dog.
Shout out, This Ain't Mike. Thanks for the $5. Just got laid off. How much money is in politics shit posting? I'm trying to be the Hassan for white dudes from small towns who peaked in high school. Minimum wage.
There's a lane for that, man. There's a lane for everything, This Ain't Mike.
To give you a serious answer, it all depends, right? Like, I think for most of us who do political commentary, you have to grind it out for like at least 2 or 3 years where you made nothing, you know. But then after that, you kind of slowly picked it up, and it builds and it builds and it builds. But yeah, I don't know. It's not the safest thing to do. The market is so saturated right now with like, you know, political podcasts and shit, and just regular podcasts and shit that I don't know. It feels like the ship has kind of sailed on for people making that. Although TikTok might be a little different. I feel like Crystal started a TikTok doing it, but when she was doing it, it was kind of blowing up pretty quickly. Now, maybe that's just because she's Crystal and she already has a public profile, but it seems a little more like egalitarian. Like, if you make shit, it will still be served to people. Whereas on YouTube, if you don't already have an audience, it's like you're not fucking going to get anybody watching it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So maybe TikTok is the way to go, bro. But I'm sorry you lost your job. That sucks. I know I'm telling you, man, people are struggling. It's rough out there for everybody right now. Stay positive, dude. And that's why they're hiding the numbers. Trump is like hiding the numbers about how bad the economy is, you know?
Thank you, though, Mike. Appreciate that.
Beyond voting, what do you see as the most crucial forms of grassroots action for taking down fascist movements? It is community defense, labor organizing, mass protests. Yeah, community defense, yes. Labor organizing, yes. Mass protests, yes. Just being like really involved. Like, I love what happened with this Jimmy Kimmel thing. Was very inspiring to me because people acted and they acted right away, and they scared the shit out of ABC, and ABC had to fucking backpedal. And so, like, this is why I always say you can't give the fascists an inch because they'll take a mile. So, like, on every single thing, you need to be fucking redlining it all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, like, anytime they do any fucking crazy shit, everybody should get out there in the fucking streets, right? Anytime they do any crazy shit, it should be just to fucking jam up the phone lines with phone calls saying this is fucking unacceptable, this is fucking crazy, you're insane, you know, fund the groups and the primary challengers that you want to win and take control. It's just like, just action, just constant action. Whether it's protesting or making phone calls or signing petitions or whatever it may be, like, just it sounds kind of silly, but like, yes, actually posting some shit on social media fucking matters. If you're adding to a fucking tsunami that's all going in the same direction, that means something. This is how the right sort of controls the culture. Is they're all so loud and so aggressive and so on top of it that people get the misimpression that, oh, this is like dominant, like everybody believes this. And it's like, no, they don't. These are just some loud assholes. We need to counter that because we actually do have more people on our side and take those same fucking tactics that they use. So like, organizing, fucking getting involved in politics, knocking on doors, even getting involved at like the state and local level fucking school boards and shit like that. Like just like a wave of liberalism and leftism that takes over the country where it's like, we're not fucking taking this anymore. So that's why I would just say just constant action, and also, yes, I believe in self-defense. If you're part of a marginalized group and you feel threatened, definitely for self-defense reasons, get a gun.
Moonlight, appreciate you.
How were you and Jenk able to reconcile quickly after the debate where he was unhinged and accused you and Crystal of not being in the same reality as him? So Albert, what happened was, Jenk actually was going to be in DC. He just happened to be in DC that week, and he reached out to Crystal and asked if he could come on to either Breaking Points or Crystal Common Friends. And Crystal was like, sure. We didn't have a guest yet for that week, and so he came on, and we basically ended up talking about the Charlie Kirk assassination and the conspiracies around that, and we talked about how fucked we are, how cooked are we. Because me and Crystal feel like this shit is over. And he's still optimistic and shit. No, I wouldn't say he's still somewhat optimistic. He doesn't think it's inevitable that we're going to get to like a good place, but he just feels like all hope's not lost. And in this moment, everybody on the left is like, fucking Jesus Christ, we're cooked. So that's what came about. I don't know. I don't really take shit personally. I don't really care. Like, I know he disagrees with me. I disagree with him. Who gives a shit? I just don't care. Yeah, I don't take this shit personally. It is what it is. Crystal's kind of the same as me. And obviously he still doesn't take shit too personally because he still wanted to talk to us after he went through that debate, which I don't think went too well for him. But, it is what it is. Like, we're just open to having that conversation. So we did it. But there was no reconciling. There was no like, I say this and you say that, or like, oh, how do you feel about the last time we talked? It's like, no, we don't do that. We're grown-ass men. You talk about whatever and you keep it moving.
Appreciate you, Albert. I don't know what this question is.
Kyle, now that Trump bought back Jimmy Kimmel, do you forgive him and his regime and you guys are buddies again? No, I do not. And it wasn't Trump bringing him back. It was ABC being forced by an overwhelming wave of people fucking canceling Disney Plus and tanking the stock and boycotting them and 400 artists going, I'm never working with Disney again. Like, it was all that shit that forced him back. It had nothing to do with Trump. Now I think Trump is going to go ham on ABC. He's going to block the merger. He's going to try to fucking fuck him up in a bunch of different ways. That's what's going to happen now, and it's going to get ugly.
Lindsay J, thank you.
Lindsay J, thanks for the $10.
We'll make it away. Sorry, I had to speed this up a little bit, people.
Hugo, thanks for the $10. I'm a college student in New York. When are you going to start the Secular Talk internship? I need that. There's no plans, Hugo. I would not bank on that. But thank you for inquiring. Good luck to you, bro. Good luck to you. Eric Edwards, I'm a volunteer for a Democratic campaign running against Mike Johnson in Louisiana. How could we go about getting him Conrad Cable on KKF? You can reach out to Lilith or Crystal's really the one who handles all the booking for that stuff. So I can run the idea by her. But if you want to reach out to Lilith, you can reach out to Lilith.
Reach out to Lilith. Here's another one that...
Rachel, can I plug a new congressional campaign? Jerome Whalen is a high school teacher challenging corporate crony Richie Neal in Massachusetts. One possible KKF guess idea. Yeah, any KKF ideas I have to run through Crystal. Crystal's really the one who does the booking in the first place. But again, if you want to further inquire, you can reach out to Lilith and she'll get stuff.
Thanks, Rachel. Yeah, shout out.
Thank you, Rachel. Appreciate it. Kyle, take a look at Loyola Marymount University invoking a religious exemption from the NLRA and no longer acknowledging unions on campus. Jesus Christ. Could be indicative of things to come. Clear union busting. Yeah, I mean, Trump himself did a bunch of union busting. He's not recognizing certain federal government unions, I believe. Right? So, yeah, that's not good. They're going to come up with all these like creative ways to try to like skirt around things that have been established rules for a really long time. And union busting is one way that they get super fucking creative when they do it. Yeah, thank you, Sam. Appreciate the $10. Quetzal talking about nostalgia. The boyish hobby of smashing toy robots together doesn't stop being fun as you get older.
What the fuck?
I don't know if I agree with that. I've never been a big smasher of toys, I would say. I've never been a big smasher of toys.
I like kind of keeping them in their fucking best shape that they come in. I don't. Well, yeah.
Yeah. But thank you, Quetzal, for the $5. Appreciate that. I would love a Kylan Corin chastity belt from the merchandise catalog. For real, Kylan Corin, thanks for all your work. That'd be weird. A Kylan Corin chastity belt.
If there's a market for it, fuck it.
It makes us sound like a gay porn couple or something.
Isn't that what's the chastity belt? Isn't that what?
Chastity belt is the thing that you wear that stops you from fucking. Like, it makes it so you can't fuck. Like, it's like a metal thing that covers your genitals, and then you lock it in place so like nobody can take it off.
That's so weird.
But it's like a weird fetish thing. It sounds like to me, like some weird game.
That won't be in the merchandise catalog. Sorry.
No, that's not going to be there. Sorry, y'all. Kyle, I read on your Rational Wiki that you're against safe spaces. Is it still true? I think safe spaces are needed among the fascist uprising. That's a good question. I never really thought about that. I haven't thought about that in a while. I mean, my instinct is to say safe spaces are not great because but then again, like you're saying, now they're genuine threats to like trans people, for example. So I don't know. Maybe I'll have to reevaluate that one. But thanks for the question and food for thought.
Appreciate you, Lefty.
It hasn't occurred to me in a while, but thank you, Lefty.
Jimmy
has a podcast though. It's called Down the Rabbit Hole. Thanks for the breaking news videos I watch everyone. Thank you, Courtney. I appreciate that. And now we know that, Corin. So Jimmy Kimmel apparently has a podcast, and it's called Down the Rabbit Hole.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're not that. To me, they're not that popular. It doesn't like. I don't know.
We're not the key demographic that's what you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, it's probably a little bit older than us.
True.
You know, I want to say like Gen X.
I listened to Conan O'Brien shit a little bit. He was all right, but like they don't take a stance either way. They kind of just toe the fucking water on like what they talk about.
Yeah, Kimmel's definitely liberal, so he definitely criticizes Trump.
Yeah,
you know, he leans liberal, but
do you listen to Jon Stewart's podcast?
Sometimes. If he has a guest who I'm interested in, I'll watch it.
Thank you.
He has on like his people who work for him though, which I'm not big on. Like, I just want him to just talk, like you just talk, you know. Shout out to Setlist Journey. Thanks for the $10. Kyle Corin, have you ever been to Pizza Supreme in New York City? I went there for a slice before a Billy Joel concert at Madison Square Garden last year, and it was fire. What are your top 3 spots for pizza? So I haven't been there. I don't know if Corin's been there or not.
Like, I don't know if I've been there or not. I feel like I have. Probably banging.
But it's hard for me to give you top 3 for pizza because there's just so many. But off the top of my head, there's a place named John's in Westchester that I love. There's a place, I love this place, Deanna's, which was like the first pizza place I had as a kid growing up. I love that fucking spot. That's in Rochelle. And then what's the place, Corin, that has the banging Sicilian? I want to say it's
is that like Johnny's or something? No.
What's
Sal's?
it called? Yeah. Sal's, that's it. It's Sal's.
Like any Italian ass name, and it's probably a banging pizzeria somewhere. Hey, Marco's Pizza.
Marco's, yeah. But anyway, I'll give you those 3 off the top of my head. Sal's is really amazing. Their Sicilian is perfect.
I did want to get to Madison Square Garden for a Billy Joel concert. I mean, like, that motherfucker sold it out like I don't know how many times in a row, but
I fuck with Billy Joel. Billy Joel's got some bangers.
Yeah. And he's literally just sits at the piano and just jams out. Like, dude's got a fucking set ass like career. But yeah, I feel like any pizza in New York City, you can't go wrong.
Raw Racer, thanks for the $10. Corin, do you think the Mets are going to make the playoffs? And if so, how do you feel about the playing the Dodgers first? Hope the Cubbies don't beat you guys up too bad this week.
So the Mets lost yesterday, and they're
keep talking. I'm just going to plug my computer.
They lost yesterday, which was huge for them because they're out of the playoffs now. The Reds won. I think they'll get in. I think they'll get into the playoffs and make it in. I guess if they play the Dodgers first, it's going to be a tough matchup. But that's how the Mets are. Last year, they made it into the playoffs, went on a miraculous run. They made it to the NLCS. I think if they get in, they're dangerous. I think their pitching kind of rises to the occasion, but it's going to be tough. They've got, I think they play the Marlins next. They can beat them. I think they'll get in. And then I think they could upset the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers are primed for like an upset. They've won enough. And yeah, they play the Cubs too. The Cubs aren't great, but I'm also a Yankees fan. I saw some people that got mad at the Yankees because they honored Charlie Kirk and gave him like a whole thing. So they switched over to the Mets ship.
Facts.
the Mets didn't honor like Charlie Kirk or do a whole like kind of tribute. So yeah, I'm a Mets fan right now. Appreciate you though, Racer.
Have the live chat visible to you in the future so you can see if we're trying to warn you about audio problems. Love you both. I think Corin does take a look at the live chat from time.
Yeah, I do. When I go over to the super chats, I don't see it anymore. But I don't know if there's a way to show the chat during.
You just got to go to the link of our video and just mute the audio and just keep that video up, and then you can see it.
All right, we've kind of made it through. Sorry if I skipped over your shit.
Was their audio fucked up today?
I don't think so.
Jerry says, can't believe they said Tylenol is the cause of autism. What's next? Is cough medicine going to make me trans? We're getting there, bro. We're fucking getting there. The way that I just can't. They just make so much shit up. Like, it's so fake. Everything they believe is
Tylenol
so fucking fake.
It's
crazy.
Incredible. They came out of left field
like,
with
they're
that
not
shit.
even. And bro, they're not even trying to get to the truth. That's what's so crazy to me is they don't care about what's actually true. They just like want to have a narrative, you know?
Yeah. All right. I kind of rushed through some of them. If I missed your thing, I apologize. Molly's got to use the office tonight. Oh, they said your audio is glitchy, which
my audio is glitchy.
I thought your shit sounded fine to me.
Well, I'm sure they're not making it up though, so that's a shame. Was it glitchy all night or no?
Oh, Jorgen, my bad. I didn't see this. Let me see if I can find your shit real quick. I didn't skip that. Where is you? Where you at? Not Jorgen. I think I said your shit, dog. Yeah. If I missed it, my bad. But I thought I saw it.
And I'm shocked that my audio was bad tonight. That sucks. I mean, I got my proper mic plugged in, so it should be good. But
front and ass. Look, it caught you in a lie. No, that's all I got. Did we miss anything?
No. Let's we'll allow your wife to finally use the office. Tell her my apologies if we went a little long.
My phone goes into airplane mode. So thank you guys for rocking with us. Kyle, thank you especially for rocking with us.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for being here. And we'll see you next week.
Deuces.
Peace out.